All right. Now, I don't know if you've ever had the privilege of renting a house from a local slumlord before, but, well, it's not as fun as it sounds. Now, most of you know that me and my friend Brewer lived in a crap-hole duplex way back in the day. I've only told 4,000 stories about it throughout my time on the YouTube. Well, this duplex just so happened to be owned by an old guy named Mark the Landlord. That was his real name. That's how we referred to him. That's how we made out the money orders when we paid him rent. He was Mark the Landlord, the most landlordish landlord of all the landlords. Now, I'm not going to say that Mark the Landlord was a piece of shit, but, well, actually, you know what? That is indeed what I'm gonna say. Mark the Landlord was a piece of shit. He was a greedy, mean asshole, and he sure as hell didn't enjoy renting out his place to a couple of punk-ass kids. I mean, granted, I can't really blame the guy. Brewer and I were definitely not the most ideal tenants he could have. Hey, you wanna go fucking race bowling balls down the stairs? Oh boy, do I! Ah, my fucking leg! So knowing that we were indeed incompetent assholes, Mark the Landlord was always trying to stop by spur of the moment to make sure we weren't trashing the place. Now, you might be sitting there like, well, according to Chapter 5321 in the revised Ohio Rental Code, landlords need to give a 24-hour notice before entering the premises. Yeah, well, not fucking Mark the Landlord, that's for sure. His ass just shit all over Chapter 5321 of the Ohio Revised Rental Code. Hell, he'd call me up when he was en route to the duplex, and he'd be like, hey, it's Mark the Landlord. I'm swinging by to make sure the duplex is clean and you guys aren't fucking my shit up. Okie dokie, that's fine with me. Everything is definitely spick and span here, that's for sure. So as soon as I hang up the phone, I'm like, fucking red alert, the Gestapo's on its way. And then me and Brewer run throughout the house like it's the beginning of a Home Alone movie, trying to make the place look as presentable as possible. 5 minutes later, Mark the Landlord busts through the door like, what the hell's going on in here? Do I smell smoke? Why the hell are you guys so sweaty? Are you guys smoking cigarettes in here? And what the fuck happened to the stairs down here? Damn near looks like somebody threw a goddamn bowling ball down it. We have no idea, do we, Brewer? Nope, sure don't. But it was probably that piece of shit neighbor that lives downstairs. So Mark the Landlord would then inspect our living situations like he was a goddamn social worker trying to take away our kid. Me and Brewer would just follow behind him like obedient children. How'd we do, Papa? Are we good little boys? Now, it was imperative during these little Gestapo inspections that we kept Mark the Landlord's ass away from the back door. And that is because behind the back door was where we kept all of our fucking garbage. Now, you might be sitting there like, why the hell did you guys keep your garbage there? Well, you see, Brewer and I were kind of, what's that word? Oh, that's right, lazy pieces of shit. And when we would go to take out the garbage, we would just throw it out on the landing behind the back door, and we'd just deal with it later. Well, we're not gonna fucking take every single garbage bag downstairs and put it in the garbage can. What are we, fucking training for the Iron Man competition? Well, lo and behold, the nightmare scenario happens one day when Mark the Landlord's over inspecting our shit. All of a sudden, abruptly, he's just like, well, I guess the place looks good enough, so I can't evict you assholes yet. I'll just head out the back door. See you later. All right then, Mark, you piece of shit. You have a good day. We'll see you next time. Wait a minute, the back door? Oh, god damn it, don't go out the back door. This dude opens the back door, and what he sees is not only a week's worth of garbage out there, but 2 weeks of garbage out there because we forgot about fucking garbage day the week prior. Oh man, how did all that fucking garbage get there? Must have been that piece of shit neighbor downstairs again, I tell you what. Now, I don't know if you've ever been face to face with your landlord and, verbally threatened with eviction before, but it's not nearly as fun as it sounds. Somehow we convinced Mark the Landlord that this was a one-time thing. Normally, we're good little boys. We fucking take the garbage downstairs. We train for the Iron Man. We do all that happy horse shit. And guess what? It'll never happen again. Thankfully, his ass didn't kick us out on the street that day. But needless to say, our little tenant-landlord relations were a little strained after that. Well, not too long after fucking #GarbageGate 2009 happened, things between us and Mark the Landlord became even worse. Because that's when Mark the Landlord started to have his crackhead brother come around and do some light maintenance to the duplex. Now, granted, I can't say this guy was a crackhead for sure. I mean, he didn't just come up to me and be like, hey, it's me, Mark's brother. You know, the crackhead. Anyways, I'm here to put up a new eaves trough. No, he didn't do anything like that, but he was sketchy as hell, to say the least. Well, on one particular day, Mark's crackhead brother is in the basement dicking around with the furnace, and right next to that furnace is a bunch of boxes filled with my old toys from childhood. Well, the next day I go down in the basement, and all of those boxes have suddenly vanished. So I go ahead and give Mark the Landlord a nice little telephone call. Hello, Shitty Rental Properties. This is Mark the Landlord speaking. Yeah, hi, Mark. I'm pretty sure your crackhead brother just stole a bunch of my stuff. What are you talking about? He didn't steal anything, and he's not a crackhead, all right? He's a fucking pillhead, and there's a big difference. So get it straight. Yeah, well, a bunch of boxes by the furnace are not here anymore. Well, he did say he threw a bunch of garbage out because it was cluttered up around the furnace. That bunch of garbage was my childhood, you slumlord piece of shit! Yeah, that's right. All my toys from my childhood were now gone. We're talking my sweet Fisher-Price castle, my mini football helmet collection, my goddamn neglected-ass generic Tamagotchi, all probably taken to a pawn shop somewhere so Mark's crackhead brother could get his next fix. Hey, how much can I get for this 2D from the Facts of Life lunchbox? Oh, fuck, dude, I don't know, $1.50? You got a deal. Well, after that fiasco, me and Brewer start thinking maybe it's time to move out of the duplex and onto greener pastures. Surely we can find a better fucking rental agreement somewhere with some nicer stipulations. Well, what finally pushed us over the edge was when one day I went to go take a shower and realized I couldn't because the water was shut off. Now, if you've seen my being broke video that I've made 4,000 years ago, you know that us getting utilities turned off was basically a fucking lifestyle for us back then. However, what I failed to mention in that video was that the water bill was never our responsibility. Per Chapter 5321 Ohio Rental Code, a landlord's obligated to supply running water. But of course we know how Mark the landlord feels about Chapter 5321 now, don't we? But regardless, I give him another phone call, and I'm like, hey Mark the landlord, the most peculiar thing just happened. We don't have any running water. And Mark the landlord's response was, oh yeah, I know. The water company said they were doing some work on the pipes, so they had to turn the water off. Now, at the time, that seemed reasonable to me. I mean, I was just an 18-year-old kid at the time. I didn't know dick about shit. I was like, fine, that's all right. No more water. No big deal. Well, imagine my surprise when a few days go by and we still don't have any running water. Yeah, well, that's pretty rough living if you ask me. I mean, we're fucking dumping flat Mountain Dew into our toilet just so we could flush our shit down. What is this, Pakistan? So I called the water company to see if they could give me some sort of a timetable for when our water's gonna be back on, and that's when they decided to inform me that we have an unpaid bill, and that's why our water was shut off in the first place. So I hang up the phone, slightly perplexed, and then it dawns on me. That motherfucker lied to me. So once again, I call up my good buddy Mark the landlord, and I'm like, hey Mark, guess what? Just got off the phone with the water company. According to them, you're a lying piece of shit. All right, take it easy. Look, I was gonna pay the water bill tomorrow, all right? It was high as hell. You guys keep flushing the toilets over there. What do you guys got, fucking Crohn's disease? Well, for me, that was it. That was the last straw. I can deal with Gestapo inspections and crackheads stealing my Pez dispensers, but if I gotta fill a toilet bowl up with Pepsi products just to take a shit, well, that's where I draw the goddamn line. Me and Brewer packed up our shit, and a few weeks later, we moved on to greener pastures. And by greener pastures, I mean an even shittier house with, believe it or not, an even shittier landlord. But if you want to hear that story, you're just gonna have to sit around and wait for fucking Bad Landlord Part 2, Marvin, the piece of shit landlord. Because that is an entire separate story. The end. Alright, so this month just so happens to be my birthday month. And when you're in your late 20s, there's really not much to be excited about. Well, what do you want to do for your birthday this year? Oh, you know, the usual. Sit in the dark and get drunk by myself. Goodbye, my youth! I'll miss all the Pokemon cards and Rocco's Modern Life, goddammit! But when you're a kid, birthday parties are the best. Even if it's not your own birthday party, you still have a good time. You get a birthday party invitation in class from some kid that you don't even really like that much, but you don't care. Oh, hell yeah, birthday party. Count me in. And your parents got you actual invitations to hand out? What are you guys, rich? This party's probably gonna be badass if your parents are blowing money on invitations. There's probably gonna be like a bouncy house there, some creepy-ass clown to scare all the kids. Hey, do you kids got any baby teeth I can have? I collect baby teeth as a hobby. And you know damn well they're gonna have some pretty good food there, too. We have 2 dinner choices, smoked brisket or a rack of lamb with cranberry glaze. Do you guys have sloppy joes? I'm accustomed to sloppy joes, goddammit. So I'd show up to this birthday party with gift in hand. My dad would just drop me off. Yeah, this house smells pretty fucking weird to me. I'm not sticking around to make small talk with this kid's parents. You're on your own. So I'd meet up with my little friend Timothy or Jimmy or whatever the hell his name is. I just tell him what his gift is right off the bat. Yeah, I got you a magic 8-ball because I didn't know what the hell you wanted and my dad only let me spend $10. So there you go. So then you go around and get introduced to your friend's weird-ass family. This is my old-ass grandma who can't remember anything after 1967. And this is my Aunt Lisa, who my Uncle Mike divorced last summer for a younger, more attractive woman.
Oh, God. And this is my drunk Uncle Bill, who sleeps on our couch when he's not in rehab. Yeah, happy birthday there, little Jimmy. My name's Timothy, Uncle Bill. Yeah, I know. Hey, can you borrow me $5 real quick? Yeah, I guess, Uncle Bill. Here you go. And when you get a minute, can you pee in this cup for me real quick? What the fuck, Uncle Bill? I don't know. Maybe later. And of course, your friend always had a sweet-ass cake that their parents had custom ordered. Whoa, dude, you got a Frasier cake? What the hell? Yeah, dude, I fucking love Frasier. What are you talking about? Hey, baby, I hear the blues are calling. Toss salads and scrambled eggs. They're calling again. All right, kids, who's ready to hit the piñata? Oh, hell yeah, I love tying up animals and beating them with sticks. Wait a minute, what the hell? Who gets a Ted Danson piñata? God damn it, Uncle Bill, you're embarrassing me in front of my friends. That's Kelsey Grammer, god damn it. Yeah, well, there better be some good stuff in here, I tell you what. Where's all the bourbon and Adderall at? Meanwhile, Grandma's over there wondering where the hell she is. Why is it so loud in here? Are the Russians attacking us? So then, of course, the time comes where it's time to sing happy birthday to the birthday boy. Happy birthday, little Jimothy. Can I borrow $5? And of course, it's time to open presents. And that's usually a hit or miss affair. Some presents are good, some are not so good. Oh, that's cool. Oshkosh bagosh overalls. Thanks a lot, Aunt Lisa. You can go fuck yourself since we all know Uncle Mike isn't willing to anymore. All of a sudden, Uncle Bill stumbles in with his birthday present that's not even wrapped up. It's just chilling in a Walmart bag and shit. Uncle Bill, you got me a bag of frozen chicken nuggets? What the hell? Yeah, every kid likes chicken nuggets, right? Happy birthday, Jimmy. Hey, can you ask that magic 8-ball if my ex-wife still thinks about me? And after birthday presents, the birthday party's pretty much over. Everybody starts heading out and leaving. I don't know who you are, but I hope you enjoy your ice cream social. Thanks, Grandma. Sorry you can't remember the 1980s. My dad comes to pick me up. Well, how was the party? Was that kid's parents as weird as the fucking smell in their house or what? Not as weird as their Uncle Bill, that's for sure. Excuse me, sir. Can I have your kid piss in this cup? I'll give you a bag of frozen chicken nuggets for it.
All right. Now, throughout my childhood, I've been attacked by all sorts of animals. I mean, we're talking anything from like a rabid raccoon behind a Long John Silver's to my neighbor's giant Rottweiler that tried to murder me in cold blood. I've had a ton of violent encounters and plenty of close calls, to say the least. But one of the most traumatizing animal attacks that I've been a part of had to have been from my friend David's pet cat. Now, this cat was a Siamese cat named Cotton, and like a lot of Siamese cats, his ass was cross-eyed as hell. That cat was so cross-eyed, I swear he could, like, see other dimensions and shit. And not only was he cross-eyed, but this cat was mean as hell. I seen him commit felonious assault on many a child throughout my life. He'd, like, go out in the street and, like, trip a little kid on a skateboard. If you weren't paying attention, he'd fucking burn your ass with a lit cigarette. Ah, what the hell? Hell, one time, me and my friend Steven were playing Pokemon cards at David's house, and this cat just walked up and ate his fucking holographic Mr. Mime. Now, first off, do you know how important a holographic Mr. Mime was to a child in 1999? Steven's ass would have rather lost like a grandmother or a fucking kidney instead of that goddamn Pokemon card. You bet your ass days later he's like sifting through cat shit. All that's left of Mr. Mime's ass is like a crumpled up 40 HP piece of cardboard and shit. Ah, god damn it, look how they massacred my boy! To hell with your evil ass cat! And not to mention that cat was volatile as hell. He could attack your ass unprovoked at any moment. So when we were at David's house, you didn't go near Cotton, you tried to keep your voice down while he was in the room. Hell, if he fucking farted too loud, that cat would Freddy Krueger your ass 6 ways to Sunday. And that went double for me because Cotton seemed like he had some sort of personal vendetta against my little ass. Which, I mean, I have no idea why. I followed all the proper precautions. I didn't go near him. I kept my voice down. If I had to fucking fart, I stuck my ass out of the nearest window. But it didn't matter. He attacked me regardless. It got so bad, when I'd come home from David's house, my parents would be like, holy hell, look, I don't know if you can file a restraining order against a household pet, but maybe you should give it a try. And like I mentioned before, Cotton was cross-eyed as hell. So you didn't know if he was looking at you, or your friend next to you, or if he was looking out the fucking window. You didn't know who that cat was about to target. Are you staring at my goofy-ass eyeball? No. Please don't hurt us. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking about that kid across the street, goddammit. Ah, what the fuck? Now, one thing that I failed to mention about Cotton the cat is that his ass would have seizures from time to time. That's right, apparently cats can have epilepsy. That's a real thing. His ass was diagnosed by a veterinarian and everything. Oh yeah, your cat's gonna have seizures and flip-flop around like a fucking bluegill out of water. He'll be fine though, just keep him away from like hardwood floors and probably the staircase. Now these seizures that Cotton would have never really seemed to bother him all that much. He would just kind of like spaz out for a minute or two, and then he'd just pop up and walk away like nothing ever happened. But these seizures would happen all of the time. They happened so frequently, it wasn't even like a big deal to us. It was just like a common occurrence in David's house. We'd be sitting on the couch watching TV. Cotton's ass would be over there like, dude, turn your TV up. I can hardly hear Boy Meets World over your loud-ass spastic cat.
Well, fuck you, Mr. Feeney. I'm not going to detention. How about that?
Well, it was during one of these epileptic episodes where I almost met my untimely demise to Cotton the cat. You see, it was late one night when me and Steven were staying the night at David's house, and we're up in David's room playing Streets of Rage on the Sega Genesis, you know, getting our asses beat by the fat flamethrower guys on stage 4, naturally. Well, all of a sudden, we hear a very familiar sound coming from downstairs, and that sound is followed by something smashing on the floor. So we go down to David's living room to investigate, and what we find is a broken lamp and Cotton the cat's epileptic ass laying on the floor. Apparently he was laying on a table, had a seizure, knocked the lamp over, no big deal. The only problem was, Cotton's ass is just laying there, not moving at all. Now, my first thought is, holy hell, he's dead. Cotton's ass finally fucking rattled his brains into mashed potatoes. So we're all standing there thinking we're looking at a deceased household pet. Everybody's traumatized as hell. Well, everybody except for Steven's ass, that is. Yeah, that's what you get, you fucking Mr. Mind-murdering piece of shit. Well, suddenly, Cotton rises up, stares directly at me. I know that because his eyes are no longer fucking cross-eyed. I don't know if his ass shook his eyeballs straight or what during the seizure, but what I can tell you is that his ass leapt at me like a goddamn Ninja Turtle, and then he clung himself onto me like a fucking koala bear on a eucalyptus tree. Now, real quick, it's important to note that I don't draw ears on my characters usually, because I'm a lazy piece of shit. But because of the nature of this attack, I'm gonna put a fucking ear on my character. Because what happens next is Cotton's ass ends up clawing into my fucking earlobe. And he didn't just scratch it. No, he gets his claw stuck in it. Now, I don't know if you've ever had your ear pierced by a cat litter encrusted claw before, but I really do not recommend it. I start running around David's living room in a panic while 9 pounds of fucking Siamese cat hangs off my ear. David's ass is over there like, heal, Cotton! Heal, goddammit, stop it! Steven's flinging fucking couch pillows at it, trying to save my life. Eventually, Cotton's ass leaps off of me. I couldn't tell you exactly how or when, because I'm pretty sure I blacked out over the whole fucking ordeal. All I know is I end up fucking covered in my own blood, looking like I stormed the beaches of Normandy and shit. My fucking ear, thankfully, still somewhat attached to the side of my head. Cotton's just sitting on the couch, smoking a cigarette and shit. Yeah, well, next time I'll reservoir dog that bitch right off the side of your head. I'll disfigure a child. I'm not afraid of jail. I go home the next day, and my parents are like, Jesus Christ, Holyfield, what the hell happened to your ear? I don't want to talk about it, but I'm gonna press charges, and I'm definitely filing that fucking restraining order.
Alright, so I don't know if you guys ever played around with a chemistry set when you were a kid. I know it's not the 1930s. Chemistry sets aren't exactly all the rage these days. But growing up, my cousin David, he had a chemistry set. And for the record, he did have normal toys too. He didn't just have a bunch of toys from the Great Depression.
Hey, you guys want to play with my Tinker toys? I got this stick and a hoop that we can have fun with.
So we're in his room, and we crack open this chemistry set, and we're over there with our beakers and our test tubes, looking like a Nickelodeon version of Breaking Bad. There's all these vials of chemicals included, and we don't know anything about chemistry, and we're sure as hell not gonna read the instructions like some kind of loser. Look, I've watched a couple episodes of Beakman's World, alright? I practically have my PhD in chemistry, for Christ's sake. You can't even pronounce the names, half the chemicals we're using. Potassium pomegranate. Potassium pomegranate, yeah, that's it. Sounds pretty tasty. Gulp, gulp, gulp. So we decided to do what any kids would do, and we mixed all the chemicals together in one beaker. I'm not sure what we were trying to accomplish.
We're about to find a cure for cancer with this $12 chemistry set.
No, we sure as hell didn't make that. But what we did make was the color blue. Ooh, fancy. We're breaking some new ground here. Somebody publish us in a scientific journal. Ladies and gentlemen, I've gathered you all here today to announce that at our state-of-the-art laboratory, also known as David's bedroom, we have figured out how to create the color blue. Oh my god. They're geniuses! Somebody get them a medal! So there we are, standing there with our blue concoction. We're not really sure what to do with it.
Maybe if we drink it, we could turn into an X-Men.
Yeah, or maybe we'll get diarrhea for a week. Not really something I want to gamble on. So we get bored with it, and we take our stupid blue potion and just dump it out in the middle of David's driveway. Well, imagine to our surprise that this puddle of blue starts to stain the driveway. So David starts flipping out because his dad's gonna be home from work soon. He's gonna get home, see this big-ass blue stain in the driveway, and he's gonna lose his goddamn mind.
Wait, Dad, I can explain.
Because David's dad loves his driveway. His favorite room in the whole house was the garage. And the driveway is like the front yard of the garage. He wants to keep it looking nice. There's one time we were shooting bottle rockets down the driveway like a couple of assholes, and David's dad came out and yelled at us. But he didn't yell at us for shooting bottle rockets at people's houses. No, he yelled at us because we were doing it in his precious driveway.
Oh, what the hell? Don't be doing that in the driveway. Go blow your hands up in the street or something.
So at this point, David goes and gets the garden hose, and he starts spraying the blue puddle with water. But this doesn't help, it just spreads it around. Now the whole goddamn driveway's blue. Holy hell, David, you are gonna die. Your driveway's Smurf blue, for Christ's sake. It's a pretty unique color for a driveway. Makes a pretty great landmark if you're giving somebody directions to your house. So when you turn down that street, just keep going until you see the stupid-ass cotton candy blue driveway. You really can't miss it. So in sheer panic, David runs in his house and grabs a bottle of dish soap off the counter. Now both of us are on all fours in the driveway with a bottle of palm olive, scrubbing away like little orphan Annie. But this isn't working either. And you know why? Because dish soap works on dishes, not on blue driveways. It even says on the bottle, for Christ's sake. Well, what the hell are we supposed to do now? Maybe we can camouflage it somehow. You know, just like park a bunch of bikes and scooters out there. Maybe set the bushes on fire. That'll draw his attention, right? Nope, too late. David's dad pulls up in front of the house. We just stand there in the front yard, accepting our fate. David's over there. He's got a blindfold on and a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. His dad walks up. He takes one look at us, and then he looks over to his stupid aquamarine driveway. Then he looks back at us, and he's like,
David and the boys, what are you guys doing out here?
Nothing.
You guys want some hot dogs?
Yeah, hot dogs sound good.
All right, I'm gonna make some hot dogs.
And then he just walked away. He never said anything about the driveway. What the hell was that all about? You seen the driveway, right? There's no way you can miss it. See this damn thing from outer space. What the hell happened? Maybe David's dad just didn't feel like dealing with our bullshit that day. Or maybe he just wanted some hot dogs. I don't know. But what I do know is David's driveway did turn back to normal after a couple of days. It didn't turn into some stupid national landmark like we thought it was gonna.
It's amazing! Take my picture with it!
So David probably knocked 10 years off his lifespan that day from sheer anxiety, thinking he was about to get murdered by his own dad. But instead, we got to eat hot dogs.
Get your red hots.
Talk about a happy ending. All right, first grade. First grade was a real bitch. It's your first dose of reality as a child. You go from kindergarten, where you're fucking off with Lincoln Logs all day. You got like a ball pit in the classroom and a goddamn twirly slide. Then bam, first grade. Concentration camp time. You're here to learn. There ain't no ball pit in this bitch, let me tell you. Remember that nice-ass kindergarten teacher you had that would tie your shoes and feed you vanilla wafers? Well, she's gone. She's dead. We killed her. Now you got this Gestapo SS Nazi officer breathing down your neck, teaching you how to do contractions and shit. And that is what her haircut looked like. Bitch looked like a Goomba from Mario. I just wanted to jump on her head, get my 100 points. No more fun, little assholes. Boom, spelling test. We're dealing with words that are more than 4 letters long. Spell the word shouldn't. You don't know what a contraction is? Well, let me give you a hint. It's got an apostrophe in it.
What's an apostrophe?
None of your goddamn business. That's what it is. Fuck off. Spell the word. Boom, book report on Mortimer the Frog. You write your stupid 4 little sentences on the big-ass lined paper that I gave you. You turn it in tomorrow. Then you'd get those math tests where they put a time limit on. Here's 50 addition problems. You got 37 seconds to do them. Ready? Go. Yeah, that's a nice dose of anxiety at the ripe old age of 6 years old.
Oh, God, I can't do it!
Pure misery. That's what first grade was. But you know what saved us from jumping out of a 3rd-story window every day? The fucking reading rainbow. Every day, the teacher would wheel that stupid little TV out on the cart. Butterfly in the sky, I can fly twice as high. Oh, thank God. Everybody's wiping the blood off their face from getting their ass beat by Gestapo SS. Thank God. Thank God for LeVar Burton, that beautiful bastard. It was a goddamn TV show where kids would just review books that they've read. Just stick a kid in front of the camera. You see this shit? This is The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. It's a captivating tale where this fat fuck caterpillar goes around and eats everybody's shit. He just keeps getting fatter and fatter. You're eating your fat ass to death, caterpillar. You got the type 2 now. We gotta cut off like 9 of your feet. And does he get punished at the end of the book? No. The motherfucker just gets prettier. Hungry Caterpillar. Eric Carle. Check it out. A reading rainbow. Reading rainbow. Hit that high note at the end. If you're watching at home, your dog's fucking head would explode. Reading rainbow. Alright, now a lot of you already know this, but when I was a kid, I got attacked by my neighbor's gigantic Rottweiler. And it was a pretty traumatizing experience, I have to say. I mean, one minute you're sitting there watching Rush Hour on VHS, and the next minute you're getting manhandled by a 130-pound German Rottweiler. It's a memory that sticks with you throughout your life. You definitely don't forget it. But you see, my wife doesn't care about any of my past dog trauma, or the nightmares that I have, or my Vietnam flashbacks of Rottweilers in the trees. No, she said to hell with all that, and adopted our very own Rottweiler named Otis. And this is what Otis looks like. Or excuse me, this is what he used to look like a year ago. But now, he's big as hell. I mean, look at him. He's the size of a goddamn 7th grader. Jesus Christ. Now, I have to say there's a few drawbacks in having a dog that size. For one, Otis doesn't even realize how big he is. His 110-pound ass thinks that he can just jump up in your lap still. Get your ass down! You're murdering my wife! Stop it! And for two, it's hard to get your Amazon packages delivered because every delivery driver is intimidated by his big ass. Holy hell, look at the triceps on that dog.
Here you go. I didn't sign up to hand deliver packages, the fucking Cujo.
Now you'd think that Otis would make a pretty good guard dog, but the truth is, Otis is a big ol' 110-pound wuss. I mean, the dog is afraid of limes, for Christ's sake. He hates them. He can't stand the sight of them. What kind of guard dog is afraid of a fucking fruit? Look at him running away from it like it's the goddamn Grim Reaper. I mean, sure, he likes to pretend to be tough. When he barks, it's kind of scary. But God forbid you bark back at him. Ah! Wow, how scary. So how am I supposed to believe that Otis is gonna protect us, God forbid somebody breaks into our house? Hell, I'm sure they could just give his ass a pack of hot dogs, and he'd just tap dance his ass right outside the room. It wouldn't matter who was breaking into our house. It could be the devil himself, holding a goddamn bloody sickle, and Otis would be like, Hey you wanna pet me? I'm a dog.
Actually, I was here to murder your entire family.
Oh, okay, come on in. I'll show you to their bedroom. Otis's ass isn't gonna bite anybody. Hell, if anything, his ass is more of a threat than his teeth are. Because this dog farts like a fucking stepdad, I'll tell you what. We'd be sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden, what the hell is that? I don't know, why does it smell like a burnt Hot Pocket dipped in gasoline? Oh, goddammit, it's the dog. Otis, would you please control that loose asshole of yours? Hell, he'd be a better guard dog if he used his ass as a weapon instead. I'll do it. I'll make the smelly stuff come out. I'll do it, I swear to God. Now, all of this would come to a head late one night when me and my wife were watching TV. And we were watching some show about people doing a mock break-in just to see if their dog would react and save them.
Special report. Would your mean-ass Dalmatian jump in and save you when the shit hits the fan? Find out after these messages.
I bet Otis would protect me because he's mama's baby. That's right, I'm mean. I'm a mean big bad boy. So naturally, we get the brilliant idea to try this little experiment ourselves. You know, see if Otis really has our back or not. So I'm outside in the dark with a ski mask on, ready to break into my own house like an idiot. I have to say I'm a little nervous. I mean, there is still a chance that Otis was gonna snap and I get mauled by a Rottweiler for the second time in my life. Then what am I gonna do? Hell, I don't even have a fucking lime wedge to protect myself. So I burst into my living room and do my best murderer impersonation. I'm a murderer! I'm gonna murder my wife! This woman on the couch. And it takes Otis all but 2.5 seconds to be like, oh, to hell with this. I'm getting the hell out of here. And he bolts out of the fucking living room like the house is on fire, leaving my wife to certain death. Now, we took a video of what happened that night, but it happened so quick, I'm gonna have to play it in slow motion. So here we have Otis, the big, bad, mean Rottweiler, and here I am playing the robber/murderer. Boom! Just like that. Otis leaps forward and he's looking mean as hell. Maybe there's hope for him yet. But then all of a sudden, boing! Nope, not today. Bye. See you later. Have fun getting murdered. I'm getting the fuck out of here. And if that's not enough, the entire time Otis is running for his life, he's shitting on the carpet. When everything's all said and done, there's an entire shit trail throughout the whole house. Oh my God, we literally scared the shit out of our dog. So now we feel like assholes because we didn't mean to traumatize the poor dog. I mean, hell, I thought I was gonna be the nervous one in this whole situation. Had I known it was gonna be this shit show fiasco, we would have never tried this thing in the first place. So clearly the conclusion to this little experiment is that Otis is not a guard dog. And even though he abandoned my wife and left her for dead, we got him an ice cream cone to say that we're sorry. The end. Alright, now a lot of you may know that I grew up next door to a kid named Michael, and a lot of you may know that he was a big wussy crybaby, and I wasn't his biggest fan. But Michael didn't always live next door to me. Before he moved in, there was another kid that lived next door named TJ. Now, TJ was a couple years older than me, and he was cool as hell. I mean, his name is just a couple of letters, for Christ's sake. You have to be cool as hell if your name is just a couple of letters. And when I say this kid was cool, I mean he had like a Vanilla Ice poster on his bedroom wall. He had like every Nintendo game known to man. And to my little kid ass, that's what was cool back then. So needless to say, I was always trying to go over his house. Now, I remember one time in particular, I called him on the telephone one day to see if I could come over, but nobody answered because he wasn't home. So what did I do? Well, I called his ass like 400 more times. That's what I did. I was a little ass kid. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. His parents came home later that day like, "What the hell, Barbara? We have 47 messages on our answering machine?" Boop. "Hey, it's the kid next door. Can I come over and play Nintendo?" Boop. "Hey, it's me again. Can I come over and look at your Vanilla Ice poster?" Boop. "Hey, it's the kid next door. I guess you're not home, so I guess I'll call back in 5 seconds." Boop. "Hey, it's the kid next door." Boop. "Hey, it's me again. Boop. I know you're in there, goddammit." The next day, my dad comes in my room like, "Hey, can you not call the neighbor's house 4 dozen times like you're some kind of psycho ex-girlfriend? They're gonna file a restraining order against your goofy ass. What the hell's the matter with you?" So needless to say, it was pretty depressing when TJ moved out and dumbass Michael moved in next door. Hell, I remember the first time I seen Michael. My friend David and I were looking out the window and we seen some kid wearing a Scottie Pippen jersey just digging in his ass crack. "Oh, well, that's cool. That's the new neighbor. Looks like I gotta live next to an ass picker for the rest of my life. Fantastic." So we walk out there to introduce ourselves. "Hey, my name's Michael. Do you guys want to play with me? I got this broken squirt gun we can play with." Yeah, I guess. You don't happen to have like a Nintendo or something, do you?" "No, my stepdad sold it so he could buy more Natty Light. I got a paint roller upstairs though." "A paint roller? What the hell's the matter with this kid? How about we just play baseball instead?" So we start playing baseball in the street. Michael's stepdad is yelling at us from the house. "Hey, Michael, where's your piggy bank at? I need to go get a pack of Marlboro Reds. Hey, and you better not break a window out there or you're gonna get 10 across the ass." Now, after a few minutes of playing baseball, we quickly found out that Michael wasn't the brightest kid on the block. For one, he was easily distracted. I mean, the kid had a simple brain. There wasn't much going on up there. There was just like a fucking dial tone droning on in his head. "All right, Michael, I'm ready. Throw the ball." Michael? Hello? Are you listening?
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again.
God damn it, Michael, what are you staring at? "I'm looking at those squirrels rustling up in that tree." We look across the street, and there is a couple of squirrels in a tree, but they're not wrestling. They're doing something much more R-rated, much more intimate, if you will. The squirrels were fucking, is what I'm saying. They were fucking. Michael, I don't think those squirrels are wrestling. Michael? God damn it, Michael, would you pay attention? You dare me to huck this baseball at him? Michael, I don't think that's a good... Holy hell! Michael, you throw like a goddamn girl! So Michael totally obliterates this truck's window. The car alarm starts blaring throughout the neighborhood, making all those weird sound effects and shit. What the hell did you hit, Michael? A goddamn spaceship? Hey, what did you do to my truck? You better believe your little Scottie Pippen ass is paying for that. What the hell's going on out here? Your son is vandalizing cars all willy-nilly. That's what's going on. No, I was just trying to hit those squirrels that are wrestling. Whoa, wait a minute. First off, asshole, that's not my son. That's my stepson. Second off, those squirrels are fucking, not wrestling. And third off, Michael, get in here. You're getting 10 across the ass.
Alright, when I was a kid, I had a pet butterfly. And I know that's fucking weird, a butterfly, like most people have dogs and cats, or even a fucking ferret or something like that. That's not nearly as weird as a butterfly. But I was a weird kid, alright? I listened to a lot of Smash Mouth at the time, and I was wearing a lot of fucking Hawaiian t-shirts like somebody's dad. But in school, they gave us these caterpillars to take care of, which is stupid. You know, you got a bunch of 9-year-olds that can barely wipe their ass the right way. They're gonna really take care of something, aren't they? Yeah, it's a living thing. Here, go ahead, go crazy. But I was stoked. I was probably more stoked than my dad would have wanted me to be. I didn't give a shit. This fucking bug's gonna be living in our house, Dad, alright? He's got his own cardboard box, a little window, some twigs and shit. It's not like he's fucking drinking your beer out of the fridge, Dad. Relax. And I took care of that fucking thing, okay? Not like my Tamagotchi, alright? It wasn't face down in the dirt, dead, surrounded by its own shit. I took care of it way better than that fucking thing. And a couple weeks later, believe it or not, it fucking metamorphized into a little chrysalis. I'm all pumped. I'm showing my family and shit. Oh, look, the little guy's in a cocoon. It's a fucking chrysalis, Uncle Rick, not a goddamn cocoon. It's not a moth, you dense bastard. Jesus Christ. Why don't you go get another fucking DUI, Uncle Rick? Why don't you do that with your not-knowing butterfly ass? And then finally, one morning, I woke up and I peered into that box. And there it was, in all its glory. Fucking Murphy the Monarch butterfly. And to this day, I don't think I've ever been so excited in my life. I'm like belting out Disney show tunes and shit. I can show you the world.
Shining, shimmering splendor.
I'm going to school the next day telling my friends, hey, it turned into a butterfly. Did yours turn into a butterfly? What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, the fucking caterpillar? Oh, my mom threw that in the garbage like 2 weeks ago. What the fuck? You have yours still? Like, fuck yeah, I have mine. Are you kidding me? I'm hanging out with a butterfly all day. I look like I'm on the fucking cover of a Lisa Frank folder, for Christ's sake. And I love that stupid-ass butterfly. We'd be like drinking Capri Suns and playing Mario Kart in my room. I'd let it fly around the bathroom and shit. I'd get it to come back to me by dipping a cotton ball in sugar water. It'd come right back to me. I was like the butterfly whisperer. It'd be like,
Ooh, I love this shit. Sugar water, my dude.
it was like the fucking alien in Men in Black. Sugar with water. My dad would be like having beers with his friends. Oh, hey Ken, what's your kid doing over there? Well, he's fucking playing with his butterfly, alright? He's got a pet butterfly. Who the fuck cares, Mike, alright? At least his teeth aren't all fucked up like your kid. Looking like he's been chewing on bricks his whole goddamn life. But then one day, things went a little awry. And this is the part of the story where things get a little sad, so get your Kleenex boxes out. I stayed the night at my buddy's house, and it was probably a standard 9-year-old night, you know, filled with fucking trading Pokemon cards and talking about Pokemon cards and Pokemon cards and more fucking Pokemon cards. And I returned home, and I went upstairs to my room, and I noticed Murphy's little fucking butterfly condo's all smashed up and on my floor. And then I noticed on my floor that there's little bits of Murphy the Monarch butterflies scattered throughout my fucking room. Like somebody had a surprise birthday party in my room the night before, and they used 100% butterfly confetti. And I'm totally devastated. I have no idea what the hell happened. I'm like, holy shit, my butterfly would rather blow itself up than be my pet? And then I look over to the corner of the room, and my fucking cat's hanging out there, and he's got this look on his face. He's like smoking a cigarette, looking at me like, yeah, bitch, I fucking ripped that thing apart. I don't need that shit in my life. What the fuck you gonna do about it? I just had a flash of rage. I could just picture him and my dad having a celebratory drink. Yeah, looks like he's gonna have to start playing with normal shit now, isn't it? So I did what any 9-year-old would do to punish a cat. I stabbed it in the fucking head with a pitchfork. No, I didn't do that. But I did put his ass under a laundry basket. Put him in laundry jail like everybody did, right? Everybody put their cat under a laundry basket. You're not going anywhere, asshole. You murdered my fucking best friend. You sit there and you think about it. You think about it until my mom has to use this later to wash my Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirts. So here's to Murphy, that stupid ass butterfly who was my best friend for a solid couple of weeks. I'm sorry I was such a shitty owner, and I'm sorry I had to leave you and you turned into confetti. But I had to fucking go trade Pokemon cards, alright? I had to get that holographic Alakazam, and I don't regret it. Because I still have that fucking holographic Alakazam, right? You were gonna fucking die anyways. I know I was gonna wake up one morning and you'd be all stiff and white, like a fucking dying E.T. on the bathroom floor. And then what would I do? You'd be gone anyways. So it's a happy ending, really, if you think about it.
All right, Bad Landlord, Part 2. Marvin, the POS Landlord. Now, if you haven't seen my first cartoon on what it's like living with a slumlord, well, let's do a quick recap. Me and my friend Brewer lived in a duplex owned by Mark the landlord, not a very nice person, and he was known for constantly showing up unannounced for Gestapo inspections and letting his pillhead brother steal all my childhood toys out of the basement, and oh yeah, of course, he shut our water off, which forced us to use Mountain Dew to flush our poop down the toilet. All right, what a nice recap. Well, after dealing with all that, me and Brewer decided it was time to move on to greener pastures. And by greener pastures, of course, I mean moving to an even shittier house with an even shittier landlord. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Now, Brewer was the one that found this new place on good old Craigslist.com. Remember that website? Yeah, back then it wasn't just used for buying hookers and methamphetamine. I mean, it was mostly used for that, but you could also find houses to rent as well. So we make an appointment to check out a house that's in our price range, and that is where we first meet
Marvin, the piece of shit landlord.
Now, of course, we didn't know he was a piece of shit when we first met him, but he sure as hell wasted no time lying right to our fucking faces, let me tell you. Hi, I'm Marvin the landlord from, Pisshole Rental Properties. How you guys doing? Good, Marvin the landlord. Nice to meet you. You're not like one of those piece of shit landlords, are you? Oh, no, of course not. Me? No, I'm one of the good landlords. I tell you what, you boys couldn't have picked a nicer area. It makes Mr. Rogers' neighborhood look like a fucking crack den, I tell you what. Look, right over there's, old Mrs. McGillicuddy. Hello, Mrs. McGillicuddy. Lovely day we're having. I don't know who you are. She's got dementia, what can I say? Anyways, you guys want to go inside? So we gotta look at this house, and you know, it's a piece of shit, but that's alright, because Brewer and I are used to living in pieces of shit. It's our natural habitat after all. The only real problem that we had with the place was the backyard, because, well, there's a shit ton of garbage back there left behind from the last tenant. But according to good old Marvin the landlord, all of that would be cleaned up by the time we moved in. So, taking Marvin the landlord's word at face value, we agree to rent out the place. All right, looks like we got a deal. I just need you guys to sign this 2-year lease agreement, give me your first and last month's rent, a security deposit, your social security numbers, and if you could slice your hands open and make a blood pact not to fuck up the property, I can get you guys the keys by next week. So the following week, me and Brewer start moving all our stuff in, and we can't help but notice that the neighborhood seems a hell of a lot shittier than it did on our first visit. All of a sudden, there's like broken windows everywhere. There's like an active crime scene. Old Mrs. McGillicuddy's lying dead in the street and shit. There's a meth head standing there holding a machete and a Newport. The fuck you looking at, Four Eyes? Nothing? Oh, God, get in the fucking house. Yeah, I don't know what kind of David Copperfield shit Marvin the landlord pulled off, but presto abracadabra, suddenly the neighborhood is a complete shithole. But hey, guess what? We signed a 2-year lease. Looks like it's home sweet home for the time being. I thought Marvin the landlord said this was a happy place. Yep, I thought so too. I don't think he's one of the good landlords, is he? No, Brewer, I don't think there's such a thing. Well, imagine my surprise when a few days later, I'm leaving the house to go to work, and I see that my car has a slashed front tire, and the words, bitch, ho, are spray painted on the side of it. Oh, what have they done to my sweet, sweet Chevy Cavalier? But then I look a little farther down the road, and I see that there's another white car, very similar looking to mine, with all of its tires slashed, and many, many more bitch hoes spray painted on the side of it. Now, I'm no Columbo, but I'm guessing what had happened was, late last night, some piece of shit wanted to get revenge on his ex-girlfriend, but he was so drunk, he didn't realize he was vandalizing the wrong car until he was fucking halfway through. Ah, fuck, wait a minute, this isn't a Dodge Neon. Whoops. So I decided to go ahead and give Marvin the landlord a call because, well, he straight up lied about how great this neighborhood was. Hello, pisshole rental properties. Marvin the landlord speaking. Yeah, hi. Just letting you know my car just got fucked 6 ways to Sunday out in the street. Oh, really? Sorry to hear about that. But, what's that got to do with me? Because you said this place made Mr. Rogers' neighborhood look like a fucking crack den, that's what. I did? Well, that's weird. I've never even seen Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Oh well, sorry to hear that. Bye-bye. And just like that, in so many words, Marvin the landlord told me I could go fuck myself, and it was none of his business. Well, needless to say, I had a real rootin' tootin' time that day, driving to work on a donut with my bitch ho-mobile. Dude, what the hell happened to your car? Shut up, Debbie, I'm a part-time NASCAR driver. Sponsored by Bitch Ho Enterprises. Fuck off, leave me alone. Now, lying about the neighborhood being a shithole is one thing, but another thing that Marvin the landlord seemed to gloss over was the fact that the house was completely infested with rats. Now, why was it infested with rats, you ask? Well, I don't know, maybe it had something to do with the fucking mountain of garbage out back that was never taken care of. Now, you might have seen an old cartoon that I did 4,000 years ago about me fighting a bunch of rats over control of our household, but if you haven't, well, basically, these rats were our own personal shitty deadbeat roommates. They'd eat all our food in the kitchen, they'd use our fucking Netflix account without asking, you'd be trying to sleep at night, all of a sudden a rat's trying to get you to co-sign on an auto loan for a used Honda Accord. Come on, man, my debt-to-income ratio's fucked. Just sign the bottom line, it's a good deal. Well, you can bet your ass that I called up Marvin the landlord to let him know about our little shitty rat situation. Hello, pisshole rental properties. Marvin the piece of shit, or Marvin the landlord speaking. Hey, Marvin the landlord, guess what? We got a bunch of rats in this bitch. What? You got rats? Are you sure? Yeah, Marvin, I'm pretty fucking sure. Man, well that's weird. I've never even seen rats there before. Oh well, sorry to hear that. Bye-bye. Hey, wait a minute, goddammit. Could you I don't know, maybe send out an exterminator? An exterminator? You mean like one that costs money? Yes, Marvin, it's pretty fucking bad over here. Well, eventually Marvin the landlord agrees to get somebody to come out to our house and deal with this goddamn rat situation. Well, imagine my surprise when a few days later the doorbell rings. I go and open the door, and guess who's there? Not a fucking exterminator, I can tell you that. Instead, there's 2 rat traps left behind on the ground with a little post-it note attached to them. Good luck. Go get 'em, Tiger. Marvin the landlord. Oh, okay, cool. I guess we're the fucking exterminators then. That's neat. So after getting next to no help from Marvin the landlord, me and Brewer had no choice but to fight these rats all on our own. Oh shit, we need an airstrike now. Bombs, napalm, fucking Agent Orange. Who gives a shit? We need help. Again, if you want more details, go check out my old rat hunting video. Or don't, I'm not your dad. I can't tell you what to do. Just know that eventually, me and Brewer had to violate the Geneva Convention and use chemical warfare to poison all those fucking rats. Well, after dealing with that whole situation, me and Brewer were not trying to live in that house any longer. I mean, it's probably only a matter of time before that meth head out in the street breaks in and has his way with us. Ah! Do you guys want to buy some food stamps from me? Well, lucky for us, Brewer runs into a guy at work that has a rental property of his own, and he said that we could move in as soon as possible. So when Brewer comes home and tells me this, I'm like, hell yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. So I call up Marvin the landlord, and I'm like, hey Marvin, guess what? We're moving out next week. You can suck it. Whoa, what are you talking about? You guys signed a 2-year lease agreement, buddy. You're not going anywhere. Yeah, well, we're fucking breaking it. How about that? We done dealt with rats and meth heads, and somebody slut-shamed my Chevy Cavalier. We're done. We're getting out of here. Well, this little conversation quickly escalates into a screaming match over the phone. Marvin says something along the lines of us being pieces of shit and he should take us to court, and I say something along the lines of him being a slumlord piece of shit and he should go die in the street. Something along those lines. Well, eventually, Marvin gives in and he's like, you know what? Fine. To hell with you guys. You got a week to get all your crap out of my house. Goodbye. Fucking kids these days. Can't even deal with a meth head or a few dozen rats. Unbelievable. So after breaking our lease, Brewer calls up the guy from his work to let him know that we're good to go. Hi, it's me, Brewer. You know, the guy from Circle K? No, the other guy. You know, the guy that you think is weird, but you look past it because I give you free Polar Pops? Yeah, that's right. Hey, I'm just letting you know that we're ready to move in. Uh-huh. Oh, I see. Okay then, bye-bye. He said he already rented that place out to somebody else. What are you talking about? Brewer, I just broke our lease and called Marvin a slumlord piece of shit. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that. Well, we are now in quite the pickle, and it's becoming apparent that we have one of two choices to make. We can either A, live out on the street and start smoking crack, or we can B, call up Marvin the landlord and apologize for, calling him a slumlord piece of shit. Well, at first, I was like, fuck it. We can live out in the street. I can learn how to smoke crack. It can't be that hard. But then I was like, no, I can't do that. I was a Cub Scout, for Christ's sake. I took an oath not to smoke crack. So once again, I call up Marvin the landlord, but you bet your ass I am not going to apologize. Hey, Marvin the landlord, it's me again. Guess what? We're gonna do you a favor, we're gonna stay here, and we're not gonna break the lease. What? Are you serious? You're gonna keep giving me money, even though I'm a complete and utter piece of shit? Yep, that's right, and it has nothing to do with us not having another place to live. You're welcome, fuck off, thanks for nothing. So in the end, I guess Marvin the landlord won the battle because we ended up staying in that shithole house. But you bet your ass, as soon as that lease was up, we got the hell out of there and moved on to greener pastures. And by greener pastures, I mean a halfway decent house with, believe it or not, a halfway decent landlord. Wow, look at that, we found one. But if you want to hear that story, well, you're just gonna have to wait till, never, because there really isn't much of a story to tell. I mean, there's no rats or meth heads out in the street. It wasn't fucking haunted. We didn't get a utility shut off. What can I say? Life's not always a goddamn M. Night Shyamalan movie, all right? So here's to you, Mark and Marvin, the pieces of shit landlords. If you're out there to this day still ripping people off, well, I hope your next eviction is a fucking nightmare, and I hope a sick cat pisses all over your carpets. The end.
Alright, so this story is a little disgusting. It's a story about my roommate Brewer and myself living in a house infested with rats. Delicious. Now, after all the haunted duplex shenanigans, me and Brewer decide to move into an even shittier house in an even shittier neighborhood. And instead of dealing with demon ghosts, we get to deal with a bunch of disgusting ass rats. I think I'd rather live with like a pissed off orangutan or something like that instead.
Mr. Bubbles, do you mind if we watch Netflix in here? Oh God!
Now, when we moved in, we obviously didn't know that the house was infested. But after a couple of days, we started seeing tiny poop pellets in the kitchen. Hey, have you been leaving little tiny turds around the house? No. Huh. Well, I wonder what that's all about. It wasn't until one night I was in the bathroom taking a dump, and I look over, and I see the ass of a rat hanging out of a hole in the wall. Well, that's not something you want to see while you're totally vulnerable taking a poop. Oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Now, my first instinct was to grab a pair of scissors and cut its tail off. But then I was like, no, that's fucked up. It's like some Jeffrey Dahmer shit. what the hell's the matter with you? So in mid-poop, with my pants around my ankles, I open the door and yell, "Rats! We got rats in the house! Invading my privacy!" Now it's important to note that this wasn't a mouse. A mouse is little, it's cute, it's friends with Donald Duck. People like mice. Rats, on the other hand, they're big, they're nasty, and they couldn't give two fucks about Donald Duck. Now my bedroom in this house was on the bottom floor, so that means I could hear the rats outside my door all night long. Now that's pretty damn disgusting. All I could think about was, well, what the hell happens if one of them comes in here? Hey, what's the password to your Netflix account? We want to watch season 4 of Scrubs out there. I'd open my bedroom door, they'd all scatter every which way, but there was one big-ass rat that was like twice the size of any of the other ones. That goddamn thing was like half the size of Brewer's dog. It was the Megazord of rats. That goddamn thing looked like a boss from a Mortal Kombat game. It was not afraid of me at all. It'd just be staring at me like, the fuck are you looking at? Why don't you get in the kitchen and make me some bagel bites? So needless to say, we had a big problem on our hands. People stopped coming to our house and shit. I'm not going over there. I don't want typhus. Well, I'll be damned if I'm gonna live up to my asshole and a bunch of rats. Desperate times call for desperate measures. So the next night, I'm laying on the living room floor with a BB gun. I got a cupcake out in the kitchen as bait. It's time to pull a Lee Harvey Oswald and assassinate me a few rats. Now, I actually got real footage of this fantastic time in my life. Boom, right there's the cupcake, buttercream frosting. It's delicious. And look who shows up. Fat-ass rat looking to party. I take the shot, and I totally fuck it up. Well, some Lee Harvey Oswald I am. Jesus Christ, my ass wouldn't even have hit JFK's convertible shooting like that. So let's slow the footage down and analyze it like some little rat Zapruder film. Here's the shot. And this goddamn rat does some Neo from the Matrix backflip bullshit over my goddamn bullet. Okay, so clearly the BB gun is not gonna work. Time to move on to rat poison. We sprinkle a bit of rat poison right on the front step of this asshole's house, and sure as hell the next day, it's all gone. They damn well licked that plate clean. 2 days later, I go in our basement, and there's 4 dead rats on the ground. All right, job well done. But wait a minute, where's that big bastard at? That goddamn Megazord rat is nowhere to be seen. 2 more days go by. I'm sitting in my room watching TV, and lo and behold, the big kahuna himself comes crawling across the floor in broad daylight like somebody's drunk uncle and just dies right there in the middle of the living room. And here's a picture of that goddamn thing. I put a little Taco Bell packet in there so you could get a reference of the size. But before we could celebrate, Brewer's dog prances on in. She sees that dead rat and she's like, "Oh, what do we have here? A dead rat full of disease and poison? Well, I better have a lick." Shortly afterwards, I walk out there, see Brewer's dog making out with this rat carcass. The dog looks up at me like, "Well, I wasn't just gonna leave it there. I'm a dog, you stupid ass." So I panic. I call up Brewer while he's at work, and I'm like, your dog was just licking a dead rat like an ice cream cone. You got any last words you want to say to her? But she was all right. We took her to a vet afterwards, and they gave her some medicine. How about you don't let your dog eat dead rats? So our house was officially rat-free, nobody got typhus, and I could poop in peace again. The end. Alright, now I don't know about you, but when I was in 3rd grade, yo-yos were a big deal. I remember being out in recess one day, and I see these 2 kids showing off their yo-yos. "Hey everybody, check out our sweet yo-yos, aren't they sweet?" And at first, I really didn't understand this new trend. What the heck, we're playing with yo-yos now? What is it, the 1930s? It was just so old-fashioned to me. It didn't make any sense. Those 2 kids might as well have been out there like, "Hey everybody, check out our sweet hoop on a stick, isn't it sweet?" But it didn't matter what I thought, because like a week later, everybody on the playground has a yo-yo. And everybody's out there at recess, having little battles against each other. Not like gladiator style, swinging them around like a fucking mace. No, I mean like stomp the yard style, or you got served, if you will. Except not as shitty, and with yo-yos. They'd be little face-offs on who could do the coolest tricks. The only problem was we were all like 8 years old and we couldn't do shit. "Oh yeah, you think you're sweet, huh? Well, check this crazy move out. Bloop, bloop. Boom, you just got served. You look foolish. Holy hell, he made it go up and then down. What the fuck?" Our teachers are watching us from afar, totally baffled. The hell are those kids screaming about? I don't know, are they having a dog fight? Hey, stop fucking fighting dogs over there. So I'm watching this whole thing go down, and I think to myself, wow, I better get a goddamn yo-yo so I can defend myself. I don't want to go and get served like Kyle over there and look like a fucking idiot, now do I? Now back then, there were basically 2 different brands of yo-yos. You had the Duncan yo-yos, which I always thought was for the more sophisticated yo-yoer. You know, the kids that actually knew what the fuck they were doing. And then you had the Yo Mega Yo-Yos, the badass ones for the cool kids. They were colorful and in your face, and they had sweet names like the Fireball and the the Turbo Blast. I don't know what their names were. I'm pretty sure they just took the names from the American Gladiators, to be honest.
Hi, I'm Turbo from American Gladiators. And when I'm not blasting people with a tennis ball cannon, I'm fucking yo-yoing my ass off with the Turbo Blast Yo-mega Yo-yo.
Now, since my ass was broke as hell, I couldn't afford one of those sweet yo-yos. All I could get was this cheap $5 knockoff yo-yo that I bought at a 7-Eleven. And let me tell you, this thing was a turd. Sure as hell wasn't a Yo-mega Yo-yo, that's for sure. It was like a might as well fucking throw this thing in the garbage can yo-yo. So now I'm at my friend David's house trying to learn how to yo-yo, and David was like the Mr. Miyagi of yo-yos. I mean, his ass could do Rock the Baby, for Christ's sake. No other kid on the playground could pull that thing off. You see, he was so good at yo-yoing because his mom would take him to get yo-yo lessons at the mall. Yeah, that's right, they had yo-yo lessons at the mall back then. I'm not sure what it was like, but I imagine it was just some nerdy guy up there like,
All right, class, first I'm gonna show you these cool yo-yo tricks, and then we're gonna get our ass beat by these teenagers. Any questions?
so he's trying to show me how to rock the baby, but I can't get it down because my cheap-ass yo-yo will only sleep for like 2 seconds before it violently shoots right back up. But whatever, it's not a big deal. We all can't be champions. At the very least, I can still walk the dog, and that'll probably be good enough. So I show up to recess for the first time with my off-brand yo-yo, ready to stomp the yard and serve some people. And my first little match is against this kid named Jacob. And Jacob, of course, was notorious for being the kid that threw up in class the year prior. So you know his ass was practicing yo-yos day and night, trying to shed that reputation.
I'm so good at yo-yos, I'm the yo-yo kid.
No, Jacob, you're actually the kid that threw up in class. That's who the fuck you are.
No, I'm not, goddammit, I'm the yo-yo kid.
So this bastard decides to do the around the world trick, and that's where you whip your yo-yo around like a fucking pair of nunchucks. And I'm standing there like, god damn, that was impressive. What the hell am I gonna do? I can't just walk the dog now. I gotta go for it. I'm gonna have to fucking rock the goddamn baby. So I whip my yo-yo down there as hard as I can, and I'm starting to panic because I know I only have like a 2-second window to nail this trick. I make the first move, and this fucking yo-yo flies up, hits me in the teeth, and explodes on impact. Everybody starts laughing at me like I'm a goddamn cartoon character. Even the teachers are standing there disappointed. Good lord, that is not how you rock a baby. Yeah, that baby's fucked up. Somebody needs to call social services on his ass. So needless to say, I got served that day by Jacob. But the joke's on him because to this day, his ass is still known as the kid that threw up in class.
Oh, god damn it.
And that was pretty much the end of my illustrious yo-yoing career. That is until 20 years later, when I was drunk on Amazon one night, and I decided to order a sweet Yo-mega Fireball yo-yo. So here I am, 30 years old, trying to avenge my 8-year-old self, trying to rock the fucking baby. Boom! Got it. Take that, Jacob, you bastard. You're still the kid that threw up in class, goddammit. Alright, for those of you that don't know, I am officially a married man. That chick that got stuck on the roller coaster with me, well, that's my wife now. So if you're one of those weird old men that keep messaging me late at night, you need to stop. I'm off the market now.
Aw, darn it.
So after we got married, my wife and I decided to go to Mexico for our honeymoon. Now, I've never been to Mexico before, so I didn't know what to expect. And everybody that I talked to pretty much told me the same thing. Just don't drink the water down there, you hear me? You will shit your whole asshole off if you do. And then they gotta make you a new asshole out of your belly button. And nobody wants an asshole belly button, let me tell you. But that didn't concern me because we're staying at an all-inclusive resort in Cancun. Who needs water when you're drinking alcohol 24/7? Now, I don't mean to brag or anything, but I did take 4 years of Spanish in high school. That means I know 18 words in Spanish. Sure, 10 of them are numbers, but I do know how to order a beer in Spanish, and I know how to say the library is red. Thank you so much, high school Spanish. What a fucking waste of time you were. So we're at the resort. I'm at the bar speaking my shitty Spanish. Una cerveza, por favor. Look at me, I'm speaking Spanish over here. La biblioteca is roja. Yeah, well, I could give a fuck about your red libraries. Take your beer and beat it. So the first day in Mexico, we pretty much just laid out in the sun and got drunk. And it took a whole 45 minutes for the Mexican sun to destroy my pale body, so that was cool. I mean, I put sunscreen on, but since I was half drunk, I only put it on part of my face and body. So for the rest of the trip, I had to walk around like an idiot with all these random burn marks everywhere. There's people looking at me like I got leprosy and shit. Oh, sick. Honey, get the kids out of the pool. But regardless, I still had a good time. We were meeting people from all over the world. Everybody you talk to wants to know where you're from. Oh, you're from the United States. Are you from New York or California? We're actually from one of the 48 other states that nobody gives a fuck about. Because this is what the United States looks like to most people that aren't from here. It's no big deal, I accept that. But after a while, if anybody asked, I would just be like, yeah, we're from the US. We are from New York City, California, America land. That's us right there. But we did get drunk with some old Canadian people, though, and that was a pretty good time. I'm over there drunk as hell, just babbling on about anything Canadian I can think of.
So you guys like maple syrup? That's cool, I do too. What about Alanis Morissette? She's probably like George Washington to you guys. Is her face on your dollar bill?
Now, we wanted to do more than just sit on a resort and get drunk, so we decided to venture out into Mexico a bit. We wanted to go to some local shops and learn how to use pesos. 5,000 pesos? Is that a lot of money? That sounds like a lot of money. Am I buying a keychain or am I paying off my fucking student loans? What the hell's going on? At one point, I stumbled my ass into a cigar shop, which is funny because I've never smoked a cigar in my life. I don't know shit about them. But I want to buy a Cuban cigar because I can't buy that in America land. The lady at the counter's asking me what kind of cigars I like. I'm over there pretending I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Well, are you looking for something rich and bold or something a little bit more mild? A mild one. Yeah, that's it, mild. I don't like my cigars too spicy. Of course, being in Mexico, I also had to buy a bottle of tequila somewhere, and we just so happened to find a bar that gave out free samples. A shot of tequila, senor? Oh, well, absolutely, guy that doesn't sound Mexican whatsoever. Gulp, gulp, gulp. How about another one, senor? Well, keep them coming. Gulp, gulp, gulp. 10 minutes later, I'm fucking destroyed at the bar. Senor, I think you've had enough. I'll tell you when I've had enough, buddy. You think you're better than me with your fancy tequila and your red libraries? Gulp, gulp, gulp. But that's not all we did in Mexico. We did a lot of other things as well. We went snorkeling in the ocean and seen fish that looked like Pokemon. We went to the pyramids and seen how good the Mayans were at playing Minecraft. But the coolest thing that we did in Mexico was that we got to swim with a dolphin. And let me tell you, the look on my wife's face when she touched a dolphin for the first time, holy hell, it was pure bliss. It's like I'm living in a fucking Lisa Frank sticker book. And I gotta say, it's pretty damn hard not to smile when you got Snowflake the dolphin kicking field goals in front of you. Now, sure, it was a little weird because I was a grown man and we were the only adults in our group. I got all these kids staring at my fucked up sunburn. Ew, does that guy have leprosy? Shut up, dude. I think he's with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. But the whole experience was fantastic. We got to pet the dolphin. We got to ride with the dolphin. The dolphin got its large straight and beat us in a game of Yahtzee. It was fantastic. I'm over there trying to get the dolphin's name so I can add him on Facebook. The lady's just ignoring me because I look like fucking Freddy Krueger. So I'm just calling the dolphin Biscuit the whole time. Here, Biscuit, come here. Heel, Biscuit, heel. I'm gonna backhand this guy if he calls me Biscuit one more time. I don't give a fuck how much leprosy he has. But sadly, that was our last day in Mexico. The next day, we packed up our suitcases full of tequila and spicy cigars, and we flew our asses all the way back to New York, California. So here's to you, Biscuit, for making our trip to Mexico so goddamn special. Alright, so when I was a kid, Pokemon cards were a huge deal. Your status as a human being depended on what Pokemon cards you had. Look at this idiot's best card is a Weeping Bell. Everybody throw rocks at him. And I'm not talking about Pokemon cards that are out now where you got shit that looks like this. This shit would have exploded my 9-year-old brain back in 1999. 20 years ago, it was something basic like, bitch, what are you looking at? I'm a Pidgey. I got 40 HP. Ken Sugimori drew my ass. I got 1 attack. Let's go. Lots changed since then, apparently. I don't know. Now, first, I wasn't into Pokemon. All my friends were into it. I didn't understand it. You guys want to play with my Vortex football, or are you just gonna play with your stupid fake animals all day long? Fake animals! Yeah, fake animals for sure. Fuck your Vortex football. The only reason I got my first Pokemon card was because I won it in a bet with my next door neighbor. I'll bet you this Pokemon card that I can beat you in GoldenEye 64. Michael, I'll beat your ass 6 ways to Sunday in GoldenEye. I don't care if I gotta use the shitty Mad Catz controller. I'll play with that goddamn thing upside down and still whoop your ass. So I give Michael the business in GoldenEye with my Moonraker lasers. Now I got this Pokemon card that I didn't even want in the first place. I take this card over to my friend David to get it appraised. He's pretty much a Pokemon maniac at this point. He's got the Pokemon lunchbox and the Pokemon movie and the fucking Pokemon Pokédex that tells you Pokefacts about Pokemon. Snorlax has onset type 2 diabetes. Hey, is this Pokemon card any good? No, dude, I got like 50 of those. I practically wiped my ass with Nidorans. Oh, well, that figures. Thanks for nothing, Michael. Here, you can have some of my extra cards. They're a lot better. I think my cat pissed on these anyway, so here you go. So now I got my own little starter set of these pissy Pokemon cards. And something just clicks in my little 9-year-old dumb brain. You know, these things are kind of cool. I need to get as many fake animals as possible. I didn't even know what to do with them at first. I just sit there in my bedroom with all my cards laid out, just study them for hours, every little detail on every little card. So now, as a 28-year-old grown-ass man, I have all this information I don't know what to do with. Nope, I have no idea how to change oil in a car. But I can tell you that Meowth has 50 HP and his payday attack does 10 damage. Whoopity-doo. Now, as a kid, we didn't have a lot of money, so my parents weren't big on buying me Pokemon cards. what the fuck is it? Poketron. I'm not getting you any Pokemon cards. I just got you that John Elway football that you can throw into the fucking stratosphere. Why would I get you Pokemon cards? So if I wanted new cards, I'd have to trade my cards with other kids. And boy, did I hustle the hell out of my next door neighbor, Michael. I was like a shitty used car salesman when I'd trade with him. Michael, I'll trade you this sweet Onyx card for your Mr. Mime.
What? No way, that's a ripoff.
Michael, do you really want a sparkly pink Pokemon card? That card's for girls. Shit looks like it should be on a Lisa Frank folder, for Christ's sake. I'm offering you a fucking snake rock, Michael. You could shoot it with a rifle and it wouldn't blink an eye. But whatever, you keep your stupid little purple fucking fairy tale card, whatever.
Okay, wait a minute. I don't want a girl card. Here, you got a deal.
I once traded Michael 2 energy cards for a holographic Venomoth, and to this day, I'm still laughing about it. What a stupid bastard. But no matter how many Pokemon cards I ripped off of Michael, I still didn't have that sweet holographic Charizard. And that was the card to have. If you got a holographic Charizard, you practically made it in life. You're living at the top. Did you hear about Billy?
No, what happened? He got a holographic Charizard and quit school the next day.
He quit school? Well, yeah, what the fuck's he need school for? He's got a holographic Charizard, for Christ's sake. Now, none of our 9-year-old asses had a Charizard, but my friend Steven claimed that his dad had one. My dad's got a Charizard. Actually, he's got 2 of them. 2 Charizards? Yeah, the hell right. What are you talking about? What, is your dad famous? Does he know Bill Clinton? How the hell could anybody have 2 Charizards? Now, I know it's a little weird, an adult playing with Pokemon cards, but it was actually kind of cool. He'd be whooping our ass on a daily basis, talking shit the whole time. Boy, you play Pokemon cards like you write in cursive. Like shit. Blastoise uses Hydro Pump. Get that shit out of here. God damn, your ass better find a foster home to live in if you keep playing Pokemon cards like this. He'd be drinking beers with his buddies in the garage. Yeah, beat my son's ass in Pokemon yesterday. Straight up used Rain Dance to power up my Blastoise Hydro Pump. His stupid ass Weedle didn't stand a chance. Bob, what the fuck are you talking about? But Steven's dad really did have 2 Charizards, and he was willing to part ways with one of them. I'll trade you one of these Charizards for that Clefairy of yours. Now, this Clefairy card was my first holographic Pokemon card. It's been with me since almost day 1.
We've been through so much together. I'm your ride or die. You wouldn't trade my cute ass, would ya?
Oh, you silly bitch, Clefairy. You bet your ass I'm gonna trade you.
Are you serious?
It's a goddamn Charizard. Don't let the door hit ya.
Oh no! Now I gotta live with this weird old guy. God damn it.
Hey, wait a minute. Why does this Clefairy smell like cat piss? I go to school the next day, show off my Charizard to everybody. There's kids getting their picture taken with me and shit. The teacher's giving me my high school diploma. Motherfucker's got a holographic Charizard, everybody. And this day I still have that Charizard. I'm never gonna sell it, never gonna trade it. I keep it in my wallet because you never know when you're gonna have to talk your way out of a speeding ticket. Sir, you were doing 25 over in a school zone? Holy hell, is that a holographic Charizard? Oh, well, do whatever the fuck you want. I had no idea who I was dealing with. All right, so, well, I don't really know how to say it, so I'm just gonna say it. I went to a Backstreet Boys concert. Now let me just go ahead and say that this clearly wasn't my idea. After all, I'm more of an NSYNC man myself. Now this all started when me and my wife were sitting on the couch one day, and she found out that indeed, the Backstreet Boys were coming to town. And holy hell, her reaction when she found out, I thought a goddamn family member died. Oh my God. What happened? Is it Aunt Carol? Is Aunt Carol okay? And at first her ass couldn't even talk right to get it out. What is it, baboon? Was Aunt Carol murdered by a baboon? What the hell? No! Backstreet's back! All right.
You're goddamn right, all right. I don't give a shit. We are going. I've been wanting to see them in concert since Tamagotchis were popular.
So of course we put our house up for a second mortgage so we could buy these goddamn Backstreet Boy tickets. And having never been to a Backstreet Boys concert before, I had a few questions. Like for one, are the Backstreet Boys gonna have an opening act? Is there gonna be like a fucking bloated Lou Bega waltzing on stage like, hey everybody remember me? I did that one song called, what is it? Mambo number 6? And for two, what the hell am I, a grown-ass 31-year-old man, gonna wear to this goddamn thing? I'm not gonna wear a Backstreet Boys t-shirt after all. It's an unwritten rule. You're not supposed to wear the t-shirt of the band that you're going to see. It's redundant. It's stupid. Well, since like I said, I'm more of an NSYNC man myself, I figured that would be my best bet. But since every NSYNC t-shirt I found online was made for prepubescent girls, I had to make my own goddamn t-shirt. So I picked my favorite NSYNC band member, Joey Fat One, and I go on the Google, and I type in his name. Sure as hell, I take the first picture that I see, and presto, I got myself an NSYNC t-shirt for the concert. Sure, it's not the most flattering picture of Joey Fat One, looking like he's managing a fucking Red Robin these days, but what the hell, we all can't be perfect. So off we go to the Backstreet Boys concert, and unfortunately, we missed the bloated Lou Bega opener because apparently everybody in the fucking town had to go see the goddamn Backstreet Boys. The line is long as hell. I got people staring at my shirt like, who the hell is that? What do you mean? It's Joey fucking Fat One. Have some goddamn respect. So finally we make it to our seats, just in time for the Backstreet Boys, and let me tell you, when these motherfuckers hit the stage, it was sheer pandemonium. There's bras getting thrown on stage, pregnant chicks are going into labor and shit. Ouch, my baby! Then you got a bunch of husbands and boyfriends standing there, not knowing how to feel about themselves. Football and beer. Football and beer. I'm still masculine. Meanwhile, my wife's over there completely catatonic, looking like she just saw Jesus in a fucking fever dream. I'm over there like, boy, I sure wish I drank like 12 more beers before this. So throughout the concert, I'm asking my wife which Backstreet Boy's which, like they're fucking Pokemon. Ooh, which one's that one? What does he do? What? That's Kevin, you stupid ass. How do you not know who Kevin is? So by the end of the concert, I knew who all the Backstreet Boys were. There's Kevin, who looks like he's a part-time lion tamer and full-time sorcerer. Brian, who is 47 years old, but he has the face of a fucking Polly Pocket. AJ, who looks like a dude you'd buy fucking Adderall from. The brother of Aaron Carter. And then there's Howie, which I found out is my favorite Backstreet Boy. Because to me, Howie just seems like he just does it for a living. Like if you met him at a bar somewhere, he'd be all nonchalant about it. Like, what's that? Oh, yes, indeed, I am a Backstreet Boy. But I also sell insurance, which is my life's true passion. I swear, like, halfway through the concert, we made eye contact, and he was like, hey, you in the Joey Fat One t-shirt. You know, I could sure save you a lot of money if we bundled your home and auto insurance. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I was hearing stuff. Howie, if you're out there, give me a call. We'll work out a deal. Now, I gotta say, as the concert went on, I was pretty goddamn impressed with the Backstreet Boys. I mean, there they are. 3 out of the 5 guys are probably grandparents at this point, but they're still dancing their ass off like fucking Y2K's right around the corner, and it's the last day on Earth. And they are sweating their asses off. They're sweating so hard that every 3 songs or so, they gotta go and change wardrobe. Which leads me to the most awkward part of the entire concert, when 3 of the guys go backstage to change their clothes that they sweated through, but AJ and Aaron Carter's brother stayed out on stage, where they wheeled out tiny little boxes for them to change inside, right in front of everybody on stage. You got fucking AJ's ass pulling his boxers out. There's a big ass fucking bleach stain on him, which was deeply unsettling for me. All the guys out there are completely uncomfortable with this whole scenario. Football and beer. Football and beer! Well, imagine our surprise when he fucking flings it into the audience, and some 50-year-old dude, somebody's dad, catches it with one hand. Oh, I don't think those were intended for that guy. Yeah, I don't think so either. This dude looks around for a second, and then without saying a goddamn thing, he pocketed those bad boys. That guy has plans for those, I can tell you that. Yeah, what a fucking pervert. So finally, the Backstreet Boys play their last song of the night, Larger Than Life, and here we are, drunk, having the fucking time of our life. And at the end of it all, I think it's safe to say that I'm now more of a Backstreet Boys fan than ever. Fuck Joey Fat One. I'm a goddamn Backstreet Boys man now. Alright, it's that time of year again. Time to go back to school. And sure, I know it sucks. I was a 10-year-old kid before. I know what it's like. I've been sitting there on the couch watching TV. All of a sudden, a back-to-school commercial comes on.
Hey, you there, on the couch! To hell with your Animaniacs! It's back to school time! Go tell your mom we got book bags for 50% off at the Walmart!
Now, the one good thing about going back to school, at least for me, was that my great-grandma would take me to the store and buy me a new pair of shoes. Now, granted, the shoes she would pick out for me would be like from the 1920s, but it was the thought that count, goddammit. Yeah, Grandma, these will look great when I'm doing the Charleston at the school's ice cream social. Looks good to me. And then before you know it, you wake up one morning and it's the first day of school. I'm laying there in bed like, well, my Uncle Rick shit himself in order to get out of Vietnam. Maybe I can shit myself to get out of going to school. But no, you don't do that. You get your ass up and you go to school. Your dumbass friends are outside waiting for you. Everybody's got on their finest clothes. I walk out there looking like I got dressed in the dark. I got my speakeasy dress shoes on and my dumbass Hawaiian t-shirt. My friend Michael's over there showing off his generic-ass new shoes. Hey everybody, check out my new Shaqs. Aren't they cool? Michael, I thought you said you were getting new Air Jordans. No, my stepdad said I had to get fake Air Jordans because I'm his fake son. So we start walking to school. There's random people yelling out their car windows. Hey, look at those little shits on their first day of school. Sucks to be you guys. Have fun with your Scantron sheets and your square pizzas. Then we finally get to school. Everybody's everybody's all apprehensive.
Well, here we are, the 5th grade. They say shit gets pretty real when you hit the 5th grade.
Meanwhile, everybody's walking up to me talking shit about my shoes.
Look at this dude in his weird tap dancing shoes. What the hell?
These are fucking wingtips there, mister. You don't know nothing about nothing. So you sit down in your new class for the first time. You scan the room to see who's all in your class this year. Let's see, who do we got here? We got weird-ass Julie over there who talks to herself. That's not good. And we got Eric, who was sent home from school last year because he had head lice. God damn it. And there's Chris over there, who shit himself in the 1st grade. Fantastic. I'm not gonna talk to any of these people. All of a sudden, the teacher busts into the classroom.
Good morning, you beautiful sunshine children. Are we all happy to be here today?
I'd rather be tossed around in a Russian gulag than to be here, to be honest with you.
Oh, well, that's terrific. How about we go around the room and introduce ourselves? My name's Julie, and sometimes the voices in my head tell me to burn things.
Yeah, my name's Eric, and my mom had to shave my head last summer because I'm a dirty little bastard.
Yeah, my name is Chris. Hey, that's the kid that shit himself in the 1st grade. Oh, God damn it, that was a long time ago, all right? I had 12 chocolate milks that day. How the hell was I supposed to know I'm lactose intolerant? All right, everybody, calm down, calm down. Don't worry, Chris, it's not your fault. Not everybody can grow up to be a decent person. And what about you, little boy? You must have went to Hawaii over the summer, didn't you?
No. I'm just wearing this shirt because it's badass. Look, lady, I don't know what you want from me. I'm 10 years old. I like Pokemon cards. I just got the Limp Bizkit CD last summer. I got a lot of shit going on in my life, all right? That's all I have to say. And that was pretty much all you did on your first day of school. You didn't really do any real work, partly because you've been turning your brains into mashed potatoes all summer long.
Man, I haven't used my brain in 3 months. I can't remember how to write my name in cursive. Hell, I can't even remember how to spell mine.
So after school, I'd meet up with all my friends. We'd recap on how the day went.
Well, I hope your guys' first day went better than mine. My new teacher's old as hell and she smells like fucking Fritos.
Oh yeah? Well, that's nothing. You should see all the weirdos in my class. I got weird-ass Julie, that kid that had head lice, and Chris, of all people.
Chris? Isn't that the kid that shit himself? God damn it, that was a long time ago. Oh God, not again.
Alright, when I was in 4th grade, I had a crush on this chick. This chick was pretty popular. She's way out of my league. This shitty drawing doesn't really do it justice, so I'm just gonna use a picture of Topanga from Boy Meets World. Yeah, that's better. Now, 4th grade, if you were one of the cool kids, which I wasn't, you went to the skating rink on Friday nights. Now, the skating rink was like a nightclub for 4th graders. You get your skate on, you play some pinball, snort some coke in the bathroom, whatever. Now, this chick went to the skating rink every Friday night, so I knew if I was gonna swoon her, I better get my ass out there, whether I got cocaine or not. I figure I'll show up, do a sweet Evel Knievel backflip on the skates, we'll do a couple skate, and then we'll get married next weekend. Simple as that. But there's only one problem. My ass doesn't know how to skate. You don't know how to skate? No, David, I don't. Do you know how to shut the fuck up and let me live my life? How hard can it be? That's what I said, probably with the biggest shitting grin I could muster. I mean, I could do sweet bunny hops on my Razor scooter, for Christ's sake. I'm practically in the X Games. So David's mom drops us off one Friday evening. I'm wearing my sweet silk shirt with flames on it because I wanted to look dangerous, yet appealing. I show up, I don't even have rollerblades. I just show up there with nothing but my hopes and dreams. So I had to go and rent rollerblades. But they didn't have rollerblades to rent. They only have roller skates. And not just roller skates, ugly ass brown 1970s disco skates. Shit my mom wore back in the day. Oh, what the hell is this shit? You got anything back there with sweet flames on it or something? I put these damn things on, and I can hardly even stand up on them. Feels like I'm wearing 2 fucking banana peels on my feet. Standing on the side of the rink, and I'm like, okay, it's a little harder than I anticipated. Maybe I should have practiced a little bit beforehand. At least have David Napoleon Dynamite me around on his bike the night before or something. So I look across the rink, and there's Topanga hanging out with her girlfriends. There ain't no fucking way I'm skating out there. I will die. I will die if I go out there. I think I'll just hang back by the pinball machines, put out the vibe. Nope, too late. David pushes me out there, right in the middle of the chaos. I panic. My body starts to react by trying to run on the skates that are on my feet, which is a pretty stupid fucking thing to do on roller skates. And I end up falling right on my pelvis. David's over there shitting his pants. Topanga sees the whole thing. She's not even laughing. She's just got this disgusted look on her face, like she just let loose a wet fart. So I stand up, clutching my side, like I got shot by a rifle. I'm shaking. I got Bambi legs, for Christ's sake. I start to shuffle my feet back and forth and slowly scoot across the floor. That's pretty accurate on what I look like. It's not just because I'm a shitty animator. That's what I was doing. I skated like I had scoliosis and both my legs were broken. I'm in the middle of the goddamn rink. I'm scanning the room, looking for a lifeguard or some shit, but it turns out they don't have lifeguards at skating rinks because that's fucking stupid. I finally scuttle my ass to the side, and I'm thinking, well, I guess I'll just be single for the rest of my life. Be like one of my dad's friends, go buy a station wagon and start drinking natural natural light. And all of a sudden they dim the lights. They start playing that song, All My Life by Casey and JoJo. Baby, 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 baby. Oh shit, here comes a couple skate. I know my chance is gone since I just fucking fell on my face like a cartoon character. But then wouldn't you know it, somebody skates up from behind me and they grab my hand. And guess who it was? Not fucking Topanga, that's who. She's off couple skating with Brandon, who's way cooler than I am. Dude's got like an earring in his ear and like a Nelly Band-Aid on his face. How am I supposed to compete with that? No, it's this other chick in my class, Terica, and she's like 8 feet taller than me. She drags me out on the floor. She's holding my hand the way a father holds his infant son's hand. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, wait a minute. You don't want to do this. I skate like FDR. You don't want to do this at all. But she just drags me out there anyways, and we're flying. We are zooming through everybody. My skates aren't even touching the ground. We look like the Advance to St. Charles Place chance card in Monopoly. My friends are watching from a distance as this skyscraper of a girl Napoleon Dynamites me around the skating rink.
Oh my God!
The song ends, we get back, she like spanks my ass and is like, good show, stay gold, pony boy. Just skates off. My friends are sitting there making fun of me for the circus act that they just watched out there. I don't even care, because who did they couple skate with? Nobody. I couple skated. I mean, look at me, I'm wearing this stupid flame shirt with my disco skates, for Christ's sake. I'm lucky people are even in the same building as me. So here's to you, Terica. Thanks for dragging me around that bitch, making me look like a prince. And Topanga, well, you can kiss my ass, how about that?
Alright, there's two types of people when it comes to restaurants. People that lose their shit over every little thing.
What the fuck is this shit? The peas are touching the fucking mashed potatoes. What are you trying to kill me?
And then there's people like me, who never complain about shit. A waiter could come out with my food and push a plate in front of me that had nothing but like 2 turds on a plate. And I'd look at him and be like, this looks great, thanks. I just feel bad. I feel like an asshole if I complain about my food. Maybe it's because I worked in the food industry before, or maybe it's because there's people starving in third world countries like Kenya or fucking South Detroit. But when I do eat out somewhere, I like to apply a little rule called the 2-hair limit. Because there's nothing worse than finding a hair in your food. Except maybe like somebody else's toenails or like a used tampon or something. And if I do find a hair in my food, well then I just do my best to pretend that never even happened. What hair? I didn't find no damn hair. Probably just like a weird noodle or something. Definitely not somebody's crotch hair though, I know that. But if I take another bite and I find another fucking hair, that's it, dinner's done. And it's always the nastiest, longest goddamn hair you've ever seen in your life.
What the hell is this shit? What, did a fucking woolly mammoth make my food?
But you don't gotta worry about that shit with a fancy restaurant. I don't go to a lot of fancy restaurants, but we did go to one in Chicago one time. It was way out of our league. The fucking menus at this place were like nicer than my high school yearbook and shit. We walk into this place and we are instantly out of character. Everybody in there's dressed up and looking like the fucking Monopoly guy. I look over at my buddy Gary and he's wearing a fucking Chive t-shirt. Everybody's looking up from their plates and staring at us because they can smell the pour off us. Do we gotta take our shoes off before we come in? Can we wear shoes in here? I don't know what I'm doing. They sit us next to this real ritzy family and I'm pretty sure we just ruined their dinner instantly. I can hear their conversations next to us and they don't sound anything like our conversations.
Investment, mutual, stock option, blurdy, money, mathematics, blah.
One time my cat threw up in the kitchen and I stepped in it barefoot. But we were like, you know what? Fuck these people. Let's get the most expensive steak that they have here. That'll show their hoity-toity asses. And I look at the menu and there's a $100 steak on there. The fuck does a $100 steak taste like? Well, we're about to find out. I'm asking the waiter, do I get a hand job before or after I get the steak? Because for $100 fucking dollars, there better be a hand job somewhere in the goddamn equation. So they give us this steak. This thing's humongous. They're charging us like shipping and handling fees just to bring the goddamn thing out. And we ate it. We ate it all, like kings. And I grabbed a microphone and I stood up and I said, you see, you fucking fancy pants Monopoly people? Us poor people can eat your fancy pants steak, so go fuck yourselves. Don't pass go, don't collect $200, and go fuck yourselves. And then I dropped the mic and got the hell out of there. But before we left, we had to pay our bill. And when I was looking at the bill, I was like, oh, piss. It looked like a 3-year-old was playing with a calculator and just put a bunch of random numbers in there. And as I'm sitting there, all I can think about is the ending of Home Alone 2, where Kevin McAllister's dad's flipping out at the room service bill, and he's like,
Kevin, you spent $958 million bajillion on a stupid-ass steak in Chicago?
oh shit, I gotta go. My dad's pissed. Here, homeless lady, have a turtle dove. And I just want to say, that's pretty shitty of Kevin McAllister giving this goddamn homeless lady a fucking turtle dove. Motherfucker's parents are rich as hell. They're in a hotel room full of free shit. This bitch is out here sleeping under a bridge with a bunch of pigeons. Oh yeah, no, thanks, Kevin. Thanks for the fucking Christmas tree ornament. I'm sure I'll put it on my fucking Christmas tree that I don't have. If I don't fucking freeze to death first, you fucking 10-year-old bitch. See if I fucking save your ass from Daniel Stern again. Like any average American kid, I played some Little League growing up. Here's my team circa 2002. There I am with my grandpa glasses and my eyes closed like an idiot. What a motley crew we were. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, we lost every single game we were in. The score would be totally one-sided. We're not even paying attention anymore. We're fucking trading Pokemon cards on the bench. Our coach is like, all right, guys, it's neck and neck. Let's pull together. The other team's got kids playing Game Boys in the outfield. Their pitchers lobbing us volleyballs. We still can't fucking hit anything because we were just bad. We didn't know what we were doing. We look like the team that the Harlem Globetrotters would play against. Just running into each other like a bunch of assholes all day. Our first batter of the year flung a goddamn bat into the stands. Hit somebody's little brother eating a hot dog. Oh, what a good start. We're going to be all-stars. Our coach is like, God damn it, if you're going to do that, do it to the other team's fans, you dummy. But we had some classy individuals on our team, okay? We had Josh, whose best feature was that he had a swimming pool at his house, which we took full advantage of.
Hey, you guys want to come inside now?
Yeah, we'll be there in a minute, John.
My name's Josh.
Yeah, okay, whatever, Jim. Then there was little Billy, our catcher, who was half the size of everybody else on the team, who couldn't throw the goddamn ball if his life depended on it. He could hardly throw it to the pitcher, let alone try to throw anybody stealing a base.
Throw it, Billy. He's stealing second.
One time we were warming up before a game, and I threw the ball to him, and he's over there not fucking paying attention, just daydreaming, probably thinking of the ass whooping we're gonna get, and the ball just nailed him right in the chest. I thought I killed him. I ran over there, I was like, holy shit, he's dead! We're dragging him off the field, the team's looking at us like we're some kind of circus act, and then there was Danny, our pitcher, whose dad would come to every game, totally plastered, just totally drunk off his ass. He'd be yelling obscenities at the other team. Hey, blue team! You can go fuck yourselves! I mean red team, or the blue team, I don't know which team's ours. But we appreciated it. It was the closest thing we had to a mascot, so it worked. And we actually came close to winning a game during the season. There was another team that hadn't got a win yet. And these guys, they looked worse than us. There was like a cross-eyed kid, some dude in a wheelchair. Like, all right, yeah, I think we got a chance. I think we can beat these guys. And we're in the last inning, and we're down by 3 with 2 outs, and Chubby Josh is up to bat. Our coach is like, all right, Josh, don't be an asshole, go up there and get a base hit. So he goes up there, and he just crushes the ball. It's way out there. It's like 47 feet. We're flipping out on the bench, and he's running. He's running his ass off. He's running like there's a goddamn Little Debbie snack on home plate waiting for him. He's rounding the bases, and we're all like, stay at third! Stay at third! Because we knew his ass wasn't going to get a home run. And he's like, to hell with that! You don't get on Wheaties boxes by staying at third. I'm going for it! And he was out by a good mile. He wasn't even close. But he still managed to slide into home, and as he did it, his ass scraped against home plate in a very violent way. You knew it hurt, and you knew some part of his ass was bleeding. And I'll never forget the look on his face. He just clutched his butt, waddled off the field crying. And our coach is like, way to go, Josh. We're 0-12 now, thanks to you. Maybe your asshole wouldn't be inside out if you would have just stayed at third like we told you to. And everybody hated Josh for the rest of his life. The end. All right, helping people move into a new house is hell on earth. I think everybody knows that. Last year, I helped 9 different people move. That's 9 firstborn children that are gonna be named after me someday. Because helping somebody move is a huge favor and is a big pain in the dick. All my friends ask me to help move, and I don't know why, because I suck at moving. One time, when I was 14, I was helping my dad move a refrigerator downstairs, and he's down there. His life is in my hands. He's looking up at me. He's like, you sure you got this? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. I wasn't fucking sure. Not even a little bit. 12 seconds later, the fridge is cascading down the stairs like the tool chest in Home Alone 2. I'm at the top of the stairs freaking out, thinking I just murdered my father with a kitchen appliance. Oh, shit. I'm gonna have to bury my dad's body and live in the shadows the rest of my life like Lindsay Lohan. God damn it, what are you, trying to kill me? Look, you broke the stairs for Christ's sake. What's the matter with you? I didn't even know you could break stairs, but it turns out you can if you throw a refrigerator at them. So it's kind of a bummer when people come up to me, they're all excited.
Guess what? We just bought a house.
Oh, that's great. Oh, shit.
They're gonna ask me to help them move.
So, do you got any plans this weekend?
I should just lie. I should just lie to their dumb, stupid fucking faces. Yeah, I got to, help my brother learn how to pee standing up.
You have a brother?
Did I say brother? No, I meant, my mother. I, have to help her pee standing up. She gets jealous of my dad. It's weird. Oh, for Christ's sake, I'll help you move, okay? The shit I'd rather do for somebody than help them move. Oh, you need a kidney? Here, you can have one of mine. Your grandpa needs help getting a catheter put in? Whip it out, old man. Oh, you want me to help you move a washing machine up 2 flights of stairs? Well, you can promptly kiss my rosy ass. How about that? What are you taking a washer up 2 flights of stairs for? What are you, fucking doing laundry in the attic? No, I'm not doing it. That's stupid. But then the weekend rolls around, and there you are, helping somebody move. Because you're a piece of shit, but you're not that much of a piece of shit. So you show up and they got like one shitty little truck that looks like they just built it in the driveway 20 minutes ago. And you start moving their things. And as soon as you start lifting that first heavy thing, you're like, oh yeah, moving sucks ass. I almost forgot. Sweat's pouring off my face. I feel like I'm stroking out. You get about 2/3 of the way and you're like, fuck it, I'm done, I'm giving up. Get an extension cord. Do your laundry on the stairs. I could give a shit. Because your friends collect nothing but the heaviest things in the world.
Oh, I just got a few things here. Just like a sectional couch, a pool table, a bag of bowling balls, you know.
Speaking of pool tables, I'll tell you right now, if you ever want a pool table in your house, get the pool table first, and then build your fucking house around it. Believe me, it's easier that way. So you're moving all their heavy shit, and you're looking at your friends, and they're all taking the easy stuff.
Okay, I'll carry this bag of Monopoly tokens. You think you could grab that dead camel carcass over there?
Half the time they're just screwing around, walking around exploring their new house.
What does this light switch go to?
Why does the toilet keep flushing? Honey, I think we got poltergeist. You start rummaging through your friend's stuff, see what kind of weird shit they're bringing over. What do you want me to do with this box full of lotion and handcuffs? Just put that down in the dungeon. Basement. About halfway through the day, you're totally exhausted. You start to have no respect for your friend's property anymore.
Make sure you're careful with that bookshelf. That was my great-grandmother's.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Fit your ass through the doorway! Finally, it's the end of the day. Mission's accomplished. They're feeding you beer and pizza. Your body feels like a used diaper. You're all sweaty and sticky like a fat Dan Aykroyd. Wow, let's never do that again. How about that? I hope you guys are here for 40 years. And if you decide to move after that, that's fine because I'll probably be dead. Move away. Thanks for the beer. You guys are assholes. I'll see you later. Alright, when I was a kid, riding bikes was a big deal. Everybody in the neighborhood had a bike. Now me personally, I had a mountain bike. But not just any mountain bike, it was a big-ass mountain bike. Shit looked like it was made for a 6'5" lumberjack. Like the size of the kickstand. I have to use a trampoline just to get on the damn thing. Now, most of my friends had BMX bikes. And they all thought they were pretty sweet because their bikes had pegs on them. David, your ass can't even bunny hop. What do you think, you're Matt Hoffman? Is your ass gonna grind down some handrails or something? Then we had my friend Michael, who had the shittiest bike I've ever seen in my life. He's over there rolling around on a bike from the 1920s.
Who wants to get their ass beat in a race?
Michael, nobody's gonna race you with your stupid-ass Charlie Chaplin bike. Now, the four of us would ride around our neighborhood pretty much all summer long. To us, we were like a shitty little biker gang.
Hey, we're like a bunch of bikers. How about you guys call me Tomahawk?
Michael, I'd rather shit broken glass than call you Tomahawk, you know that?
Well, shouldn't we have like a name or something for our bike gang?
Yeah, let's be called something tough, like the Scorpions.
How about the Panda Bears?
Yeah, Michael, let's be the Panda Bears. We'll get some leather jackets made and everything. Sounds real intimidating, doesn't it? Hey, what are you guys, the Hells Angels? Yeah, that sounds pretty gay. We're the Panda Bears. We'd be riding around the neighborhood. We got our fake tattoos and our candy cigarettes. Dave's over there wearing some broken sunglasses he found in the street. We would see who could make the longest skid mark in Michael's driveway. There'd be dozens of black marks all over the place. Michael's stepdad would come out. What the hell are you guys doing to the driveway? God damn it, Michael, you're getting 10 across the ass. We'd have all the chicks in the neighborhood checking out our sweet bikes. Yeah, there's 21 gears on this bad boy, and I have no idea how they work.
Yeah, I'm practically in the X Games. One time I grinded on the Great Wall of China. Last summer, my stepdad found this bike in a river.
We'd set up a little ramp in the street so we could soar a whole 3 feet into the sky. Michael would try to go off the ramp with his shitty little bike. Goddamn thing would explode on impact. Like a whole summer, Michael didn't have a bike, so he had to ride on David's pegs. Well, riding on pegs is like sitting on the bitch seat in the biker world. Nobody wants to do that.
All right, we're going to the park.
Get on the pegs, Michael, you're riding bitch.
I don't want to ride bitch.
Get on the goddamn pegs, Michael. You're riding bitch and you will like it. After a while, he started using his sister's pink Barbie bike. The thing had like one training wheel on it and shit. We didn't want to be seen in public with him, so we'd like ride like an extra 50 feet ahead of him. Just pretend we didn't know who the hell he was.
Hey guys, wait for me.
Why is that retarded kid on that Barbie bike following us?
I have no idea.
Now, on one particular day, we were out on the street and we were racing each other. And one of our friends, Tommy, shows up on his bike and he's with this kid, Jonathan. Now, we didn't like Jonathan that much because he's an asshole. There's no other way to put it. He was just kind of a dick. And Tommy just hung out with him because he had a Sony PlayStation, which made sense to us.
What are you guys doing? Are you guys like a bike gang or something?
Yeah, we're the Panda Bears.
Wow, that sounds pretty gay. We're the Scorpions.
God damn it, Michael, I told you Scorpions was a better name.
So you guys like want to race or something?
All right, we'll do a 1-versus-1 race, down to the end of the street and back. Who's gonna go first on your team? Wait a minute, Michael, what the hell are you doing on their side?
My name's not Michael, it's Tomahawk.
God damn it, Michael, get over here on our side.
No, I'm changing teams. Jonathan said I could play his PlayStation.
Oh, you're such a hooker, Michael. God damn it. All right, somebody help me on my bike. Michael, I am kicking your ass. Get on your stupid Barbie Dreamhouse bike. Let's race. Thank you for joining us at 13 o'clock news. This just in, there's a drag race happening on Burton Avenue. We have Dan Peterson at the scene. Dan, what do you have for us?
Well, Tom, it looks like it's the Pandas versus the Scorpions. It's like some kind of shitty West Side Story out here.
That sounds astounding, Dan. Can you tell me who the competitors are?
Well, Tom, it looks like a toddler on a giant bicycle versus a transvestite on a Barbie bike.
So we start racing, and we are flying down the street. I'm changing gears all willy-nilly. Michael's pedaling that little Barbie bike like he just robbed a liquor store. But the thing is that this little girl bike was never meant to go over 9 miles an hour. Michael's flying down the road. Well, imagine his surprise when the chain pops, and he goes soaring through the air and cracks his face on the pavement. So I see this happen, and I do what anybody would do. I keep on fucking going. We're in the middle of a goddamn race. Michael's ass could have been shot by a rifle, and I wouldn't even have stopped for a second. He's on the ground. There's blood all over the place. He's crying. I get back to everybody else, and I'm like, yeah, you guys can suck it. This is Panda property. Bamboo Boys for life.
Where's Michael at?
Well, that is a good question, isn't it, Jonathan? Where is little Tomahawk after all? I'll tell you where he's at. He's limping his jacked up Barbie bike back home. That's where he's at. He's still got tears in his eyes. His face is all bloody and shit. God damn it, Michael, what did you do to your sister's bike? Now you're getting 20 across the ass. All right. You ever think back to when you were a kid about some of the screwed up or embarrassing things that you took part in? You know what I'm talking about. Maybe you were the kid that peed your pants in the 2nd grade during a spelling test. Or maybe you drop-kicked your best friend off a trampoline and broke his pelvis. Whatever it is, I think it's safe to say that we all have some deep-seated childhood regrets that we all carry around with us. Like, for example, one time when I was a kid, me and my sister decided to order pizza. And the only problem with that was, it was the middle of winter, and it was like a goddamn stage 3 blizzard outside. Now, what kind of asshole makes somebody deliver pizza in this hellish nightmare? There's fucking wampas outside and shit. Who does such a thing? Well, 9-year-old me and my older sister, that's who. So after like 2 hours of us ordering the pizza, our doorbell goes off, and like a piece of shit, my sister sends me out to face the poor bastard to get our pizza. So I open the door, and of course, the delivery guy's this old dude all hunched over, freezing his ass off.
Oh, hi there, Sonny. Sorry I took so long. I almost slid into oncoming traffic getting here. And I have arthritis in both of my cankles, so I can't move so fast.
Holy hell, what a complete perfect asshole I felt like taking this guy's pizza. And to make matters worse, all my sister gave me to tip this guy was some crumpled up, crusty ass dollar bill that looked like somebody blew their nose into it. So I handed it over to the guy, when all of a sudden, a fucking gust of wind rips it right out of my hand, and the thing goes tumbling off into the abyss, never to be seen again. So now this feeble old man's just staring at me, arthritic cankles and all. What the hell am I supposed to do in this situation? Well, what I should have done was got old man River out of the elements there, served him some hot cocoa, and made him my honorary grandpa. But instead, I just fucking shut the door in his face. I was like 8 years old, alright? I didn't know what the hell to do in a situation like that.
Oh, okay, have a good day then. I guess I'll die now.
And that was it. I sat down and ate some pizza, and I never told anybody about that experience ever in my life. So now as a grown-ass man, 20 years later, I'll be laying in bed at night, and I'll just randomly start thinking of that old guy freezing his ass off. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one to explain when I'm standing outside the pearly gates and shit. It says here that when you were 9, you attempted to murder an old man for a Little Caesars one topping. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Yeah, I'm gonna have to plead the fifth on that one, Pete. You see, that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Childhood regrets that you'll never live down. Now, another childhood regret of mine was when I was over at my friend Zachary's house that lived across the street. And Zachary was a weird-ass kid, but we'd always put up with him because he always had the coolest toys growing up. I mean, he had the talk boy from Home Alone, he had Furbies coming out the ass, he had the fucking robot from Rocky IV. The kid had it all, what can I say? But the thing that we were most envious of was his gigantic Pokemon card collection. And this was back in the 90s, when kids valued Pokemon cards more than life itself. Michael, if you ever touch my holographic Charizard, I'll find and murder your entire bloodline. Do you understand me? But Zachary didn't care about his Pokemon cards at all. They're all spread out in his room, all willy-nilly. They're all ripped and bent up and shit. His ass would practically tap dance all over them. He had so many of them, he didn't care. And that shit made us sick to our stomachs. I mean, it would be one thing if these were just energy and trainer cards we're talking about, but the kid had a holographic Zapdos on the middle of his floor, for Christ's sake. To us, it was like fucking animal abuse for fake animals. Somebody should have called the Fake Humane Society on his ass. So after seeing Zachary's blatant disrespect towards his holographic Zapdos, what the hell did I decide to do? Well, what I should have done was take Zachary aside and be like, dude, I've seen a kid beat another kid over the head with a pogo stick for a fucking holographic Zapdos. Get your shit together and take care of your Pokemon cards. But instead, I fucking pocketed that holographic Zapdos. Yeah, that's right, I stole it. I'm not proud of it, but with my broken 9-year-old logic, I wasn't stealing it so much as I was rescuing it from a life of cruelty. So now after all these years later, I'm still filled with regret because I stole this kid's shiny fucking piece of cardboard. But what the hell am I supposed to do? Track down Zachary's goofy ass and be like, hey, I know we're both grown-ass men now, but that's a Pokemon card that I stole from you back when Bill Clinton was in office. All right then, see you later. Oh, and by the way, you're a cartoon on the internet, and I didn't bother to change your real name. Sorry about that. So if you're watching this, Zach, I just want to say sorry about the petty theft, and if you want your Zapdos back, well, I still have it, because I take care of my goddamn Pokemon cards. Alright, let's do one more memory about me being a piece of shit, and we'll be done with it. Now this time, we're in my next-door neighbor Michael's front yard, and we're doing what most dirty little kids were doing in the 90s. We're playing WWF front yard wrestling, that's what we're doing. And this particular matchup was between my friends David and Michael. David, of course, was Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Michael, on the other hand, was Bill Goldberg. Now, of course, we told Michael that he couldn't be a WCW character, but naturally, Michael didn't give a fuck. So there they are, fighting to the death in Michael's front yard. I'm playing the role of referee in this shitty wrestling match. And to call it wrestling to begin with was a stretch of the imagination. I mean, you got David over there, like, ripping the hair out of Michael's scalp and shit. I'm just standing there like, okay, I'll allow it. That's a completely legitimate wrestling move. Well, things start getting a little dicey when these two idiots start getting a little too close to the sidewalk. Now, what I should have done in this situation would have been like, hey, you idiots, get back over here. Somebody's about to crack their head on the sidewalk. But what I did instead was not say a goddamn thing. I mean, there's a styrofoam championship belt on the line, for Christ's sake. I can't interrupt the match now. Well, imagine my surprise when David pulls off a haphazard German suplex and he cracks Michael's head on the sidewalk. And I gotta say, it was loud. It sounded like a fucking 30-06 going off in the neighborhood. At the time, I thought Michael's brain just exploded on impact. I was almost positive people on the street were calling the cops like, yeah, hello, police? Get the paddy wagon. I just watched a kid in a Scottie Pippen jersey get murdered in cold blood. Thankfully, to our surprise, Michael sits up, and, well, he's looking a little disheveled, to say the least. Michael, are you all right? So now, what do me and David decide to do? Well, what we should have done was run inside and get Michael's drunk-ass stepdad and be like, hey, Mr. Michael's stepdad, we were being deeply irresponsible, and I think we might have just scrambled Michael's brains into oblivion. But instead of doing that, we just took off running down the road and left Michael to die by the street. I know, it was a shitty thing to do, but again, we were like 9 years old, and we didn't want to get in trouble. Hell, we even went back and grabbed the styrofoam belt before Michael's stepdad came outside flipping out. Wow, what the hell's going on out here? Michael, fix that stupid look on your face and get your ass inside. Now, in the end, Michael was all right from that whole event. I mean, he probably had a mild concussion at least, but, well, it was the 90s, so it was no big deal. What? What do you mean your head's fuzzy and you can't remember how to tie your shoes? Oh, rub some dirt in it and stop being a wuss. So, Michael, if you're watching this, I'd like to apologize on behalf of me and David. We shouldn't have left you there on the side of the street, but at the same time, I'm gonna stand by my call. It was a technical knockout and David's still the champion. So I guess you can suck it. The end. All right, this is a story about when I was 11 years old and my brain decided to go all screwy and have itself a seizure. And seizures aren't very fun. I wouldn't really recommend having any, especially if you're 11. All right, so my friend Steven is over my house, and he brought his dumbass little brother Matt along with him. And we're in my room, Steven's playing his Game Boy, and Matt and I are playing some Pokemon cards. We're having a good old time. Now, normally I would whoop Matt's ass at Pokemon cards 6 ways to Sunday, but on this day, the unimaginable was happening. I'm sitting there on the ropes. I got my shitty-ass little Weedle card. He's over there. He's got a Blastoise on steroids. Thing's got like Mark McGuire arms and shit. Let's hit some dingers. Jesus Christ. I'm about to lose to Steven's little brother. What kind of piece of shit loses to Steven's little brother? So I pick up a card. I'm hoping for a miracle at this point, and lo and behold, a miracle does happen. Everything goes black. I fall over like a sack of potatoes, and I start foaming at the mouth like a wild animal. I'm having what some people would call a seizure. And I didn't even get to have one of the fun seizures. You know, where you're flopping around like a fish? No, I just laid there, half dead, eyes wide open. What a ripoff. Now, Steven and Matt, they see this whole thing, and they think I'm faking it. Oh, come on, I was just about to win. Stop laying there being an asshole. Who the hell knows how long I laid there before my dad finally walked in? Hey, what kind of shit do you guys want on your hot dogs? Whoa, what the hell happened to him? Ooh, I want ketchup. Oh, yeah, we think your son's dead. Now, I don't remember any of this because my brain doesn't work anymore, apparently. The next thing that I did remember is waking up on the couch with everybody staring at me. What the hell? Why is everybody staring at me? What is this, some kind of shitty surprise birthday party? The paramedics bust through the door. They carry me to the ambulance. I'm still completely oblivious to what's going on. You know I can walk, right? I have legs that work. Yeah, but you don't have a fucking brain that works, apparently. So we're at the hospital trying to figure out why my brain suddenly turned into a bowl of mashed potatoes. My mom's absolutely positive that the reason I had a seizure was because all those nights I stayed up playing Nintendo 64. It was that goddamn Poketron Stadium, I know it. But me personally, I know exactly what happened. The thought of me losing to Steven's stupid-ass little brother was so abstract to my brain that it tried to explode itself. That's the only logical reason. So at this point, I have to have an MRI done. And if you've never had an MRI done before, then you don't know what hell on earth is. It's where they slide you into this big tube so they can take pictures of your broken-ass brain. Now, I'm not a claustrophobic person. Or maybe I should say I wasn't a claustrophobic person before the MRI. There's something about being strapped down and put into a giant tube that kind of makes you feel uneasy. I'm never getting out of this thing. I'm gonna die and stay here forever. So I'm a little apprehensive. The nurse comes over and she's like, "It's okay to be nervous. We're gonna put some music through these earbuds to help ease your mind. What kind of music do you like? You guys got any Limp Bizkit? Let me check." Oh yeah, perfect. As if this couldn't get any worse. So they slide me into this tube of hell, and they're like, "Okay, this machine's a little noisy. Just try to focus on your music." Oh yeah, a little noisy. That's a bit of an understatement, don't you think? So much for the goddamn Muffin Man, I can't hear anything. So there I am, completely stuck in a tube, listening to R2-D2 have loud sex with a garbage disposal. Every now and then the machine would stop. Goddamn Muffin Man would chime back into my ears. So this goes on for 45 minutes, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I never knew this circle of hell existed. Lucky me. When I finally get out of that thing, I'm like, hey, thanks a bunch, guys, but I think I'd rather have the seizures than do that shit again. So at this point, we had to wait for the doctor to look at the results. And I'm not saying my doctor was stupid, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't all the way there. What the hell is this big blobby thing? That's the brain, doctor. Oh, yeah, all right. Well, that's good, right? I don't know. So there I am, waiting to be diagnosed, hoping I get some answers finally. Oh man, I hope it's not brain AIDS. I bet I got AIDS in the brain, Mom. I should have never listened to that Nickelback CD. Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is your son has a brain in his head. And the bad news is, what was your question again? Why did he have a seizure? Oh yeah, that's right. We don't really know. So now I have to get an EEG test. And an EEG test is when they glue a bunch of electrodes to your head and they sit you in front of a strobe light. I remember thinking a strobe light, oh my god, they're trying to make me have a seizure now. What a bunch of assholes. Okay, just sit back and relax. We're just gonna shine a few lights in your eyeballs. How you feeling? You feeling a little seizure-y? No, but I'm feeling like my goddamn brain's gonna explode. Oh man, I thought you'd be flopping all over the floor by now. Well, I guess we could hit you in the head with this frying pan and see what happens. So after all this hellacious testing, my doctor concludes that he doesn't really know why I had a seizure. Sometimes your brain's just stupid, I guess. I don't know. What do I look like, a doctor? So I never figured out why, and I never had a seizure since then. But there's one good thing that came from this whole shitty mess, and that was from then on, I could always fake a seizure and get out of losing any game. Aha! Checkmate! I win! Oh, god damn it, not again! Alright, so not too long ago, my fiance and I decided to be soccer coaches. Because let's be honest, I'd make a great goddamn soccer coach for a bunch of little kids. There's only one little problem with this. We don't know shit about soccer. But the good thing is we're teaching a bunch of 4-year-olds. They don't know shit about soccer either. I'll just teach them the 3 things that I know about soccer, and they can just figure out the rest on their own. Alright, you guys know how to kick stuff, right? I kick the shit out of my little brother all the time. No, well, perfect. You're practically a soccer player already. So we have a few practices to figure out what kind of skill sets these kids carry. For instance, we have little Mario on our team. His trademark is that he likes to jump over the ball when it comes to him. Try to explain it to him like, Mario, your ass is not gonna get on a Wheaties box if you keep leapfrogging the goddamn soccer ball. He was also really good at pointing out any airplanes that were in the sky. He'd just stop right in the middle of practice, point up at the sky. Ooh, airplane, airplane! That's great, Mario, but if it's not about to crash into this goddamn soccer field, I could really give 2 shits about that airplane. Now get your little air traffic controller ass over here and kick the ball. Poor kid was just really excited about airplanes. He just wanted to share it with the world. Holy fuck, look at that airplane in the sky. Is this not a big deal to you people? We also had 2 girls on the team that were sisters. They wouldn't step foot on the soccer field unless they were holding hands with each other. So they'd be out there, hand in hand, like they got a game of Red Rover going on somewhere. They're clotheslining kids left and right. Hey, why don't you guys try playing by yourself? Because I don't do shit without my sister! Okay, alright, whatever. Holy hell. Take some Xanax, you psychopath. So our first game rolls around, and if you think handling 1 team of 4-year-olds is a lot to handle, try having 2 teams out there. It was pure chaos. You got kids out there doing cartwheels and shit, players kicking the ball into their own goal. God damn it, Billy! You are bastardizing the sport of soccer! All the parents are looking at us like, hey asshole, what kind of circus show is this? What the hell have you been teaching our kids? They would kick the ball out of bounds, the referee would blow the whistle, they'd just totally ignore it and keep on going. Stop, wait a minute! You'd have all the kids trying to pick the ball up with their hands, and the first couple times they do it, you try to explain it to them nicely. Oh, sweetheart, you can't pick up the ball with your hands. You don't do that in soccer. But then after repeating yourself 5,000 times, you just get sick of it, and you're like, God damn it, Billy! If you pick that ball up with your hands again, I'm gonna chop them both off with a machete. She's just joking. We don't have a machete, I don't think. Now, there are only so many 4-year-olds playing soccer, so every weekend we would play against the same team. And there was one kid on that team that would pretty much score all their goals. But the thing is, he was like a foot taller than everybody else on the field. What the hell? How old is that kid out there? Somebody check his birth certificate. I'm pretty sure we graduated high school together. The kid had like stubble on his face and shit. He's out there smoking a cigarette like, all right, let's hurry this shit up. I gotta pick my kids up from daycare in a half hour. So we pretty much watched him beat the hell out of our team for the whole game. It was especially bad in the second half because by the time the 3rd quarter rolls around, nobody wants to play soccer anymore. They want to go home and do whatever kids do these days. I just want to eat fruit roll-ups and watch weird-ass Spider-Man videos on YouTube. You'd have kids laying down in the field. Billy's over there digging in his ass crack. God damn it, Billy. Your great-grandma made it out here to watch you today. Her ass has emphysema. She's only got so many days left. You think she wants to spend them watching you fiddle with your asshole all day long? I don't think so. There'd be one kid crying on the field at all times, it seemed like. Like it was in the goddamn rule book. They'd just be sitting down, having a mental breakdown. Their parents are taking pictures of them and shit. You'd have a coach on one knee, trying to be a mini psychiatrist. What are you crying for? You're 4 years old, for Christ's sake. Wait till you're old like me and you get divorced. Then you gotta sit at home every night by yourself, eating Hungry Man TV dinners, just waiting to die. Get your ass up and play some soccer. And then out of nowhere, the referee blows the whistle and the game's over. Everybody gets some goldfish and a Pacific Cooler Capri Sun. All the coaches are all stressed out. I run out to the parking lot and slam 6 beers down while nobody's looking. All right, team, that was a good game. Billy, you scored 3 goals today, but they were all in our own net, so way to go. Mario, you pointed out 4 airplanes and 1 helicopter. That's a new FIFA world record, all right. And ladies, well, you clotheslined a kid and broke his collarbone, so that's pretty sweet too. I expect more of the same next week. Go, team, go. All right, now you remember when you were a kid and you'd be sleeping at night and then all of a sudden you wake up and you start to freak out and then you start screaming around the house for no reason? No? You didn't do that as a kid? Yeah, well, neither did my ass. But you know who did was my friend David. Now, I don't know what it was, but every so often, David's brain would just misfire while he was sleeping and he'd freak out and start screaming around the house like he got shot by a rifle. I don't know if he was sleepwalking or having night terrors or if his ass was in Vietnam and he was having flashbacks of Charlie in the Trees. But whatever it was startling as hell if you were staying the night at his house. And I've seen him flip out on multiple occasions. Hell, the first time it happened, it was the middle of the night at his house and I was sleeping on the bottom bunk of his bunk bed. When all of a sudden, David's ass just starts screaming in the middle of his room. Ah! 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 What the fuck? Now, my delirious ass had to assess the situation pretty quick, and naturally, I came to the conclusion that David is possessed by the devil, and he may or may not try to kill me with his bare hands. He runs out of his bedroom screaming. Meanwhile, his mom's still asleep somehow, totally oblivious to the midnight mayhem that's happening. And keep in mind, I'm 9 years old at this time. I don't know what the hell to do. It's 1999, for Christ's sake. It's not like there's a goddamn Echo Dot in the room that I can ask a question. Hey, Alexa, what are you supposed to do when your friend's possessed by the devil?
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll go fuck myself then.
So what do you do in this situation? Well, I'll tell you what I did. I locked my ass in the bathroom. That's what I did. I don't know what's going on, but I sure as hell am not gonna be there when he's doing that backwards crab walk down the stairs and shit. I'm peeking out of the bathroom, seeing if the coast is clear.
The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ... Ah! Oh, goddammit!
Eventually, his ass would calm down, his brain would reset, and he'd start acting normal again. He just had to wait it out. I come out of the bathroom like,
dude, what the hell was that all about? What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, sometimes I wake up and I freak the fuck out.
I don't really know why I do it. You wanna play Sega Genesis? So needless to say, it was a bit of a gamble staying the night at David's house. But it wasn't just his house. He'd flip out if he stayed at my house, too. We'd be in my room sleeping. All of a sudden, he shoots up out of bed like Linda Blair and shit.
Ah! Oh, god damn it, not again!
I'd have to, like, huck a Furby at him to buy some time, then scamper out of my room like my fucking house is on fire. I'd go downstairs where my parents are playing cards and be like,
hey, my friend's possessed by the devil and he's losing his shit. Can I just play spades and drink Milwaukee's Best with you guys?
But out of all the times I've seen David go postal, there was one night in particular that stands out from the rest. And that was the night that David and I stayed the night at our friend Steven's house. And that night was your typical summer night. We're having a good old time eating 3D Doritos, staying up all night playing 50 turn rounds of Mario Party 2.
You better not steal my star. I'll fucking hammer throw your ass out a window. I told you not to do it! God damn it!
But eventually, we all pass out in the living room. I'm sleeping on the couch, still got a controller in my hand and shit. Everything is fine and dandy. But guess what time it is? That's right, time to freak the fuck out o'clock. Once again, out of nowhere, David starts screaming like he's a goddamn pterodactyl. I wake up and see his ass running circles around Steven and his little brother. They're laying on the floor, trying not to move or make eye contact like they're a part of a goddamn hostage standoff. Steven's mom, who apparently is a much lighter sleeper than David's mom, comes running downstairs with a baseball bat, thinking there's a goddamn Wolverine in the house or some shit. But instead, she finds a 9-year-old attention deficit child running amok in her house.
Everybody calm down. Let the devil run its course. He will be normal in like 15 minutes.
So we pin his ass on the ground like we're fucking Secret Service agents after an assassination attempt. Steven's mom ends up calling David's mom at like 6 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to come pick up your kid. He's flipping out, and I'm about to commit a felonious assault with a goddamn baseball bat.
And of course, David finally does calm down. He's all confused, doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Get off of me. What the hell happened? You guys want to play Sega Genesis? You were flipping your shit. That's what happened. You were yelling and screaming all over the place like we're at a goddamn Kmart. I can't have that in this house.
So David's mom comes and gets him at the ass crack of dawn. And that was the last time he was allowed to stay the night at Steven's house.
Yeah, I almost had to pull a Ted Williams and tee off on your kid with a baseball bat. You guys should make people sign a waiver before you let his little goofy ass stay the night somewhere.
When I was 20 years old, I got a job at the Toys R Us, and I hated every goddamn minute I had to work there, because nobody wanted me selling them toys, okay? It's just weird. I'm an adult. They're an adult. What the fuck do they know about toys? What the hell do I know about toys? Yeah, I don't know. These kids just really love these Don Cheadle dolls. They can't get enough of them. Why, you could probably lure a kid into an unmarked van, and he wouldn't even think twice about it. Your name could be Rapey McRaperson, and they wouldn't even give a shit. And, plus they're on sale, too, so yeah. Customers would come up to me and ask me where certain toys were in the store. I didn't have a clue, so I just make something up. Excuse me, where are your footballs at? I think they're in aisle 12B. Where are your bathrooms at? Bathrooms? They're in 12B. Is your parking lot around here somewhere? That would be in aisle 12B, sir. Thank you. Hey, You know we don't have an aisle 12B, right? Yeah, fuck them, they'll figure it out. So they would mostly keep me in the back with the other social outcasts, keep me away from the customers. I would just be building Power Wheels and kids' bikes all day long. If you want a shitty bike, you have me make it, because I'm an idiot. I can't put together shit, okay? I have no idea what I'm doing. If a goddamn light bulb goes out in my house, I'm like, oh shit! Looks like I'm getting a new lamp. This'll take weeks to repair. I'd get done with a bike, and there'd be all these pieces left over in the box. Like, what the hell? Yeah, I guess it'll be alright. But they would also use me whenever a ladder needed to be climbed to get something off a shelf. Some customer would find the heaviest thing we have in the store and make sure it was on top of fucking Mount McKinley. Hey, can you get that box down? Oh, what box? That one up there that looks like a little fucking dot in the goddamn stratosphere? Yeah, sure, I'll get my Evel Knievel ass up there and get it down for you. So I go and get the ladder, and by the time I get back, a small crowd of people have gathered, like I'm some kind of fucking circus show. Okay, for my next trick, I'm gonna climb this 30-foot ladder and try to get this 250-pound swing set down without breaking my neck. So I start making my way up, and the ladder's starting to feel like it's made out of fucking popsicle sticks. I start wondering, man, I wonder how many people down there just want to see me beef it off this ladder. Which is a stupid thought, really, because everybody down there wanted to see me beef it off the ladder. My legs are shaking uncontrollably. There's clearly poop already in the seat of my pants. Aw, screw this shit. I'm not a goddamn daredevil, for Christ's sake. You want me to get it? And eventually you do get the big-ass thing down, and you wheel it out in the parking lot for the customer. And he's got the smallest fucking car you've ever seen in your life. He's over there like, oh, okay, let me just put the seat down real quick. I'm like, come on, dude, really? Are you serious? Your fucking car looks like a goddamn Monopoly token. Hell, it'd be easier to fit your goddamn car in the goddamn swing set box. But luckily, I didn't have to work there for too long. It was just a seasonal position, so once Christmas came and went, I was done. They came up to me and was like, hey, Merry Christmas. You're fucking fired. Get out of here. And they're shooing me off with a goddamn broom, which I didn't really care. I mean, shit, they were lucky to still be in business with my dumb ass working there. Excuse me. Yeah, we bought a bike from here, and my daughter crashed into a tree, and she exploded on impact. Who should we talk to about that? I have no idea, dude. I don't work here. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Aisle 12B. Go to aisle 12B. I remember my first day at kindergarten. I sat down next to a kid named Ricky, and I said, hey, Ricky, my name's Tyler. How are you? And he looks at me and he's like, I'm fine, thanks. How is you? So I wiped the spittle from my face. And I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing? My first day of school, I make friends with a kid with a speech impediment. I'm really fucking setting myself up for failure, ain't I? I'm gonna go play with these Lincoln Logs, Ricky. You stay here and you try not to swallow your tongue, alright? Now that's a little mean, I know, but the kid would spit all over your fucking face when you talk, okay? I mean, we did become friends later on, and believe me, I was no fucking Casanova either, okay? I remember one day we were told to bring in a collection of something for show and tell the next day. It could be anything, as long as it was at least 100 of something. It had to be 100. I'm like, what the hell do I have of 100? I'm 5 years old. What the hell am I gonna bring in? So my dad tells me, hey, I got 100 screws in the garage. You can have those. You can show those to all your friends in school. Oh, sweet. Thanks, Dad. This'll totally work. You got kids bringing in 100 comic books or 100 action figures. Here I am. Hey, you guys want to see my screw collection? I got 100 of them. No? Alright, I guess I'll just play by myself for the rest of the year. But even though I was the weird kid that brought in a fucking bag of screws to show and tell, I still had a girlfriend, my first girlfriend in kindergarten. Her name was Chelsea, and I knew she was my girlfriend because she colored me a picture. Okay, that's a big deal. That's like second base in kindergarten. So I colored her a picture of the Ninja Turtles, and after that, every day she'd color me a picture and put it on my desk before I'd get there in the morning. I don't want to say I was big pimpin' in kindergarten, but I totally was big pimpin' in kindergarten. And that all happened for a while. Every morning I'd go in there and there'd be a new picture on my desk, until one day there wasn't a picture on my desk, but there sure as hell was a picture on the kid who sat next to me's desk. So I was like, what the hell, Chelsea? Who's this picture of Daffy Duck for, huh? Fucking Daniel? You colored a picture for Daniel? Let me tell you a little story about Daniel. One day we're all sitting there and Daniel was picking his nose in front of everybody, and he wiped whatever he found in his nose on the fucking big crayons that we used to have. You know, the ones that were like the size of a fucking roll of quarters. He put a booger on one of those crayons, and everybody stayed away from him for a good 4 to 5 months. So needless to say, I was a little upset about Chelsea's decision. I was like, what the fuck? I trusted you. I showed you my fucking screw collection, for Christ's sake. So after that, it was just me and Ricky. Me and Mushmouth at the table, hanging out. Bros before hoes, am I right, Ricky? Bros before hoes? It's a rhetorical question, Ricky, okay? Don't open your mouth, for God's sakes.
All right, 6th grade. 6th grade was a big deal because you got to go to 6th grade camp. 6th grade camp meant that you got 5 days out in the middle of the woods where you eat corn dogs and you go swimming. Except we didn't go swimming because it was fucking December when we went. It's 8 degrees outside, snow on the ground and shit. Yeah, put the public school kids out there, fuck them. We get shipped out there right before winter vacation in our little buses. We get sorted into cabins. We get our own little cabin leader, and our cabin leader was a guy named Craig, some hungover college kid that they put in charge of watching 12 children. Well, after talking to Craig, we found out that he knew David's older sister from school. Oh yeah, I know that chick.
Hey, David, guess what? Craig banged your sister.
Whoa, wait a minute, we're just friends.
He said he almost couldn't be our cabin leader because he's too busy banging your sister's brains out.
Now, it being December and all, there wasn't really much to do besides pee your name in the snow and try not to freeze to death. They're out there giving us tours of the campground. And right here, underneath this 8 feet of snow, we have something called a lake. A lake is where all the rich kids go to have fun during the summer. And over here, we have a water slide. Water slide's a thing where rich kids have fun during the summer. First day there, we had a wilderness survival class because that's what a bunch of city kids need. Look, buddy, the only thing I need to know how to survive is watching a Cosby Show marathon in my beanbag chair, all right? I'm not looking for the fucking Blair Witch, for Christ's sake. The guy teaching the class, he didn't even want to be there. Pretty sure he didn't know shit about survival at all. All right, the first thing to do when you're out in the woods is to make a house, but like out of trees and shit.
Like a shelter?
Yeah, shelter, yeah, that's it.
Can this be my shelter?
Hey, look, there's some berries on the ground. All you kids can eat that.
Those are rabbit turds.
Are you gonna let me do my job or what? Eat the shit. Protein. The one good thing about camp, though, was the food. You pretty much have an open buffet for you to shove your face in. We'd all be outside, lined up in front of the lunchroom, huddled together like we're in fucking Valley Forge. Can you let us in before we start boiling our shoes and eating them? But before you could go in the lunchroom, they'd make you sing songs, you know, outside in December when it's 8 fucking degrees outside, and all you want to do is go inside and eat a goddamn fruit by the foot because you had to listen to Johnny Wilderness all day teaching you how to eat rabbit turds.
Okay, everybody, you ready to sing? We're gonna do the shark song. Ready? Baby shark do 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 do. Baby shark do 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 do. I can't hear you guys. Come on.
Bitch, there's a dead kid over here. Let us in the goddamn building. So if you survived that, you got to go inside and eat. And you could eat as much as you wanted, as long as you ate it all. That was the rule. Because if you made it through a whole day without any leftover food, you got a prize. Now what that prize is, I'll never fucking know. Because we had kids like Josh over there who'd scurry out 9 corn dogs under his armpits. Like he's got to feed a family of 9 back at the table. He'd be at like 7.5 corn dogs, struggling, sweating.
Oh, God. I'm gonna rip my Lee dungarees if I eat any more.
I swear to God, Josh, you better eat that goddamn corn dog. Never pass up on a corn dog. Take my goddamn word for it. I'd say it was right about this time, you know, the 3rd day or so at camp, where I had a thought come to me. When was the last time I took a dump? Hey, David, when was the last time I took a shit? Why would I know that? Well, fuck me, David. I don't know because you're my best friend, and best friends are supposed to keep track of that kind of stuff. What kind of best friend are you? I've been at camp all week, eating like Winston Churchill. I haven't went doo-doo caca not one single time. I should be dead. There should be a no vacancy sign hanging off my ass, for Christ's sake. I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Hey, sister fucker, how do you make yourself poop if you don't have to poop? What? What am I supposed to do, Craig? I'm gonna explode any minute now. Dear Mom and Dad, it's been at least 4 days since I felt the joy of a turd leaving my anus. I believe I may be a wizard of some sort. We've already called Guinness World Records. They said they weren't interested. I'm in constant fear that the slightest cough or sneeze might suddenly awaken an avalanche of shit and kill the entire campground. Hope all is well, your son, the shit wizard. I didn't know what to do, but I tell you what I did. I just kept eating, like a pregnant person. Shoving it all in. If I go out, I'm going out with these mozzarella sticks. Hell yes. Finally, it's Friday. The week's over. The camping trip's done. My parents picked me up, and we decided to get Burger King on the way home. Well, if that wasn't the straw that broke the camel's little back. Take one bite of that Burger King, my stomach's like, and I'm like, oh God, it's happening! My mom rushes me to the bathroom like I'm about to go into labor.
Give me a midwife, anybody!
Let me tell you, That dump was something to be remembered. I was probably on there for a good 45 minutes, dealing with the earthquake shits. I get out of the bathroom, feeling unburdened. Holy hell, what the hell happened here? Looks like 6 grown men took a shit in here. Oh, for Christ's sake, somebody give me a shovel so I can chop this thing up so it'll flush. I was telling people at school how big that shit was the next week. They thought I was talking about a newborn baby.
It was 7 pounds, 4 ounces, and 22 inches long.